And Carroll, Jeff Blankman, along with Mark Schaefer with you here tonight. We've got Carroll Merchants Baseball as the regular season beginning to wind down on this Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, if you want to call it that. It is about 6:30, though it feels like it's middle of the afternoon right now. Merchants are going to be entertaining the Clarinda A's here today in a huge late season matchup for the Merchants. They go on the road, Mark, for the rest of the season until next Sunday, the last day of the season. They're off tomorrow, so, they've won 4-6 but dropped last night's game. They really want to kind of get things started. For Clarinda, you're sitting comfortably in second place in the division. I would imagine with pretty much a week left in the season, you're starting to maybe get your pitching rotation set for that playoffs because you're already in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, they did drop last night's game, but this is a really important game that you want to win. Get some momentum going for that road trip, and not only is it a road trip, but it's kind of a lot of long road trips in that road in the upcoming games. A lot of games down to southern Missouri, so it's not like you're just going down to Clarinda for a night. You're going deeper into Missouri, so to kind of start off that road trip with a win here at Merchants Park in your penultimate game, home game of the season, would be a great way. So.
The Merchants coming into tonight 18-19 overall on the season and in the conference. They're tied with Chillicothe. Now Chillicothe actually has one more win but one more loss right now in the conference. Clarinda coming in 25-12 overall. They've played 3 games outside of the Mink League. Those don't count towards the playoff standings, but they're 22-12 right now on the season. So we mentioned that the Merchants had won 4-6. They started 6-0 and then kind of hit a rough spot and then kind of righted the ship a little bit. And then, Mark, I thought they kind of hit another rough spot. They've been getting really good starting pitching. The bullpen's been struggling at times this year. They've lost a few games late, but then all of a sudden they won 3 in a row, and all of those pretty much were games where they were scoring in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning to come back and rally to get wins. And then last night just never really got into the game in that loss.
Yeah, like you said, they just never really got into the game last night. Just kind of struggled to get hitting. They had some base runners, but a lot of stranded runners, which, that's just going to hinder any offense anytime in baseball. So I think they're wanting to get their bats a little bit more consistent and also take advantage of any Clarinda mistakes that come their way tonight.
And it seems to me as well, Mark, that, I was down talking with Ben Bergen. I've known Ben for a long, long time. I covered his older brother, Bryce, and Casey, and then, covered him and stuff in high school, as you did, and stuff, and his younger brother, Kyle, and, but I had a fun conversation with him. Great young guy, and I know he wants to get into coaching someday and at the college level and maybe even work his way up into the Major League Baseball somewhere, and I think he's got the ability to do that. Bryce, of course, the hitting instructor for the minor leagues for the Merchants, for the Twins. Yep, sorry. But the conversation I had with him, he kind of talked about it's that late season. When you get to about the middle part of July, all of a sudden pitching starts to dwindle. You lose guys to injuries. You lose guys to going back to college early. And so the pitching numbers, it's been a fight for them here lately. I mentioned the bullpen struggling. Part of that is that some of their bullpen guys have had to become starters, so that some of their better bullpen guys have had to be moved into that starting role. But the conversation I said to him is, I asked a question. I says, it seems more like that's kind of a league-wide thing, because I mentioned to him in some of the games they've rallied back and won here lately, there's been a lot of walks, a lot of hit-by pitches, a lot of wild pitches, even some errors that have kind of benefited them. So it seems like that I think everybody in the league, for the most part, starting to run into some of those struggles with the pitches.
Yeah, and it kind of goes both ways because, obviously, as a coach for a collegiate summer baseball league, you don't want to send your starters and your aces back to their schools with a dead arm because nobody's going to want to work with you again. But it kind of works both ways, and not only are the Merchants able to score runs, but they're also able to unfortunately give up some runs because of that pitching situation, which is what we saw last night too. They just gave up a few runs early that could have been prevented, but again, it's late in the season, so you're trying to do the best with what you have left.
Yeah, and this is where your defense has really got to help the pitching out. Last night they gave up 3 earned runs in the second, gave up 8 for the game, the other 5 runs unearned runs giving up. So this is where your defenses really need to step in and help your pitching. I do think the Merchants will have an edge tonight. Neither team going with a guy that really is used to being on the hill to start games. Brock Wallace going for Clarinda tonight. Hasn't started a game all year long. He is 0-0 and has only thrown 16 and 2/3 innings. He's had one save. For the Merchants, they're going to go with Ryan Ladner here tonight. Ladner is 2-2 on the year, but I think Coach told me this is just start number 2 for him on the hill all season long. So you got another bullpen guy kind of being slid into that starting role for them here tonight. Let's take a look at our starting lineups here tonight. First of all, for the A's of Clarinda, leading things off will be their left fielder, Gavin Long. Batting second and playing second is Cole Wareheim. The shortstop, Anthony Palmilia, will be hitting in the number 3 hole. Batting DH tonight and is going to be in batting cleanup and playing DH, I should say, is Junior Barajas. The center fielder, Nick Masserini, is hitting in the number 5 hole. Out in right field batting 6th is Joey Little. The catcher, Julian Sauger, is hitting in the 7th spot. Batting 8th over at first base is going to be Cord Dobrinsky. And the third baseman here tonight will be Luke Stoughton. He's going to hit in the number 9 hole. And again, not batting and pitching tonight will be Brock Wallace. For the Carroll Merchants, they'll lead things off with a guy who has been on an absolute tear the last few weeks, and that is center fielder Michael Alt. He had about a week and a half stretch where he was hitting about 750, went 5 for 5 in a game the other night, then 2 for 2 in the second game of that doubleheader with 2 walks and a hit by pitch. So his on-base percentage has been near 1,000 for about the last 5 games. Batting second, a very late addition to this team, but a guy who has really been big for them over this 4-2 stretch in the last 6 games is the designated hitter Joshua Koski again. So that's Alt is hitting first, Koski is hitting second. Bryce Yasko will play shortstop and bat third. Ethan Cole is over at first base batting cleanup. Your right fielder Cullen McBride is in the number 5 hole. Blake Tigas will bat 6th and play third base. Chris Hagee is at second base batting 7th. Jordan Brandenburg is catching tonight batting 8th. And Lane Speaker, the outstanding athlete from Caminita, is out left field batting number 9 tonight. And again, pitching and not batting tonight is going to be Ryan Ladner. We'll step away for our national anthem. We'll be back with first pitch of the Carroll Merchants versus Clarinda A's coming up on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel. You've been listening to the Mackey Motors pregame as we come to you live here from the Gatorade broadcast booth, distributed by Pepsi Beverages. Gatorade, helping athletes fuel, recover, and perform.
Starting a new job or even a new career can be scary, but starting a career at Collins Aerospace is exciting and rewarding. From the clean and safe manufacturing environment to the satisfaction of knowing that your work helps keep people safe in the skies, Collins Aerospace is the opportunity you've been waiting for, offering competitive salary, amazing benefits, and sign-on bonuses. This is an exceptional opportunity to join a highly dedicated team. For more information or to apply online, visit jobs.collinsaerospace.com. Collins Aerospace, aerospace redefined.
Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with signature butter burgers made with fresh, never frozen Midwest raised beef. Pair it with Wisconsin cheese curds and made daily, fresh frozen custard. Now that's a winning combination.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Grease Oil believes in always going the extra mile for our customers. During the busiest times of the year, you never have to worry about your gas and diesel tanks going empty. Our reliable fuel delivery service will keep your operation running smoothly. Call us about your bulk, motor oil, and DEF fluid needs. Grease Oil, fueling your life one delivery at a time.
Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been serving Lake City and the surrounding communities with new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Mackey Motors is a full-service dealership providing oil changes in our Quick Lube Express bays, a service department with world-class trained technicians, a body shop and collision center with the latest equipment, a full vehicle detailing department, or come talk with one of our highly knowledgeable sales staff.
Recipient of the GM Mark of Excellence Award for 15 years running. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City and MackeyMotors.com.
Get more with Stein. When it comes to soybean breeding, more generations equals additional yield. 2.2% more yield per generation. By introducing more new genetics faster than any other seed company, Stein delivers on the Stein has yield promise. For elite genetics paired with simple, flexible, and effective weed control, plant Stein Enlist E3 soybeans. Stein has yield. Yield plus advantage. Learn more at steinseed.com.
Bruner of Bruner, Reinhardt, and Morton is a general practice law with over 100 years of experience providing legal services in Carroll, Glidden, Coon Rapids, and Guthrie Center communities. And they're a proud supporter of this Merchants broadcast. Go Merchants!
Culver's famous custard is made fresh throughout the day, every day. With over 30 toppings to choose from, there is something for everyone. Grab a shake, malt, concrete mixer, or sundae. Find your favorite. Check out the flavor of the day online at culvers.com.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
And welcome back out here to beautiful Merchants Park. Jeff Blankford along with Mark Schaefer with you here tonight. Again, Carroll Merchant at Baseball on the CB Sports Network as we come to you live here from the Gatorade broadcast booth distributed by Pepsi Beverages. Gatorade helping athletes fuel, recover, and perform. And again, want to thank Western Iowa Networks, folks. They supply internet for us out here for us to be able to use. And they do a tremendous job. Love working with Western Iowa Networks. Literally, right now, folks, we're running all the streaming stuff from here. When we call high school games from this spot, we have video going. We're logged into the studio back at the office, and we're running the studio from here while doing video. So their internet access and the Wi-Fi that they provide us has just been tremendous over the years, and they do the same thing for us at the Carroll High School football field, the Carroll Athletic Stadium, and also the Carroll High School softball diamond as well. So thanks to everybody on at Western Iowa Networks providing, again, internet access for us here. Beautiful day here in Carroll right now. We've got 81 degrees. Mark and I were talking earlier, though, that there seems to be like some smoke in the area, and I haven't had a chance today to do any research to kind of figure out where this is coming from. I don't know if there's been another, a few weeks ago we had the Canadian fires that were, kind of putting smoke everywhere, and I'm so busy I haven't had a chance to really listen to any newscast or anything to see if there's another fire somewhere. But it's a beautiful day. You can see there's some clouds in the skies today, Mark, but it really looks like it's kind of smoky out.
Yeah, I noticed it earlier today. Was driving out towards the west side of town, and on the hill outside of town, outside of Walmart, you could barely see over the hill to the next park. So yeah, this kind of hazy smoke, shouldn't affect the ball game too much, but it could also be easy to lose the ball in the outfield in one of those. So something we'll keep an eye on.
Ryan Ladner on the hill here tonight for the Merchants, 2-2 on the year, 21 and a third innings, giving up 22 hits and 22 runs. First pitch on the way to Gavin Long, taking up top, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Now 21 of those earns have been earned. His ERA at 8.66. He has struck out to 20, walked 15. The 1-0 pitch just misses low and away, and the count runs to 2 balls and no strikes. His strikeouts per 9 innings pitched is 8.44, and his walks and hits per innings pitched 1.73. There is a pop-up, and that one's going to stay on the infield, drifting over as Hagee, the second baseman. He'll make the catch just on the second base side of second base for the first out here in the inning, and that'll bring up the second baseman for the A's, Cole Wareheim. Wareheim coming in, hitting .303. He's doubled 9 times, has tripled 3 times, has got 2 home runs, and is driven in at 27. The defense here setting up for the Merchants tonight. Jordan Brandenburg behind the plate, Ethan Cole at first, Chris Hagee at second, Blake Tigas at third, and Bryce Yasko getting the start at shortstop. Beautiful breaking ball in there for strike to Wareheim, and the count is 0-1. Lane Speaker out in left, Michael Alt is in center field, and Cullen McBride getting the start in right field here tonight for the Merchants. There's a swing and a miss on the fastball. And quickly the count, no balls and 2 strikes. So Ladner looking pretty sharp here early on, Mark.
Yeah, definitely. Hitting his marks and getting it where Clarinda can't hit it.
There is a foul ball. That one is going to get up over the bleachers empty at first base side, and the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. So started off with 2 pitches that were balls. Now has come back with 4 straight pitches in the strike zone. Looks like right now Speaker playing relatively deep as expected out in left field. This Clarinda team's got some pretty good power. There's a fastball that nearly clips him up around the head, and the count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes. You look at this Clarinda team, and almost every guy in the starting lineup today has got at least a home run. There's a shot foul down the third base side. Got that inside fastball, and that one came off of the fists. Yeah. And the count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Like you were saying, Clarinda can't hit the ball. 72 extra base hits so far on the season, so they can hit it pretty far.
The 1-2 offering on the way. That one is up top. Well, now they'll run the count now to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anthony Palmilia is going to be the next scheduled hitter. Ladner going out of the stretch, even with nobody on, comes back fastball. That was deadhead right down the middle. It's going to be popped up. Alt coming in. Going out, of course, was the second baseman, Hagee, but Alt calls everybody off and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. And that's good communication. You saw Hagee Mark continuing to go after it and then Alt calling him off when he knew he could get there.
Yeah, a dangerous spot for any ball to be hit because, like we saw, all three, the players, the shortstop, the second baseman, and the center fielder, all could have easily had it.
Anthony Palmilia will step to the plate. First pitch on the way, taken up top. And the count is 1-0. Already starting to get some groans from the Merchant faithful and the cowbell crowd right down over here to our right. 1-0 offering on the way. That one is fouled back. And the count runs to 1-1. We had our All-Star festivities just Thursday night over at the high school softball field, which is just over the left field fence. And you always know the cowbells are loud sitting where we're at to broadcast, but man, it was amazing to me how loudly they came in over at the All-Star game. There is a pop-up again out towards center field. Alt started in, now drifts a little bit towards right field. He'll make the catch, and there is going to be a 1-2-3 innings for the Clarinda A's here in the top of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We'll head to the bottom of the first when we come back in 1 minute right here on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Step up to more power and all-around capability with New Holland compact and subcompact tractors from Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City. The Workmaster Utility Series is a tough, practical workhorse providing unmatched comfort and simplicity. The Workmaster Utility Tractor, ready to complete any task with the productivity of the 12x12 powered shuttle transmission and four-wheel drive. Stop into Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City to see how the New Holland Workmaster tractors are the best utility tractors to help you complete those tasks efficiently.
Starting a new job or even a new career can be scary, but starting a career at Collins Aerospace is exciting and rewarding. From the clean and safe manufacturing environment to the satisfaction of knowing that your work helps keep people safe in the skies, Collins Aerospace is the opportunity you've been waiting for, offering competitive salary, amazing benefits, and sign-on bonuses. This is an exceptional opportunity to join a highly dedicated team. For more information or to apply online, visit jobs.collinsaerospace.com. Collins Aerospace, aerospace redefined.
Welcome back out here to beautiful Merchants Park, coming to you live here from the Gatorade broadcast booth. We head here to the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Michael Alt, Joshua Koski, and Bryce Yasko due up for the Carroll Merchants. They'll be squaring off with Brock Wallace, who comes in 0-0 on the season. Wallace does have one save. He has thrown 16 and 2/3 innings, giving up 24 hits and 29 runs. 26 of those are earned. His ERA, pretty high, but this is a reliever, and sometimes, Mark, you'll see high ERAs for relievers, but 14.04 is his ERA. He has struck out 15, walked at 21. His strikeouts per 9 innings is at 8.10, and his walks and hits per innings pitched is 3.88. So right now, Mike Alt, you mentioned it earlier, the leading batter in the Mink League. This is a guy you want to get on base because he can do damage. And Wallace, a guy that isn't afraid to walk guys the way it looks.
Yeah, and really good test for the Merchants to see how much they can get ahead of the pitching.
The first pitch taken low and inside. Wallace coming right over the top. He really bends that back and comes right next to the ear. The first pitch misses. The second pitch also taken downstairs and also works very quickly, which I really like out of pitchers. He gets right back on the rubber and is ready to go. The 2-0 pitch taken for ball 3. Quickly the count, 3 balls and no strikes. Julian Sauger behind the plate. Cord Dobrinsky over at first. Cole Warheim at second. Luke Stout at third. And there is a 4-pitch walk to the dangerous Michael Alt, and that will be the first walk of the ballgame. And then out at shortstop tonight is Anthony Palmilia. And then the left fielder, Gavin Long. Center fielder is Nick Masserini. And the right fielder here tonight for the Clarinda A's is Joey Little. Joshua Koski going to step in. He's hitting .409 since joining the Merchants. Has got a couple of double, a triple, a home run, and 8 RBI. Hit that home run in his first game with the Merchants. And the first pitch to him in there for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Mentioned this is a big game. Merchants win this one, and maybe they jump a game in front of Chillicothe. Again, getting ready to start that road trip. Got tomorrow off. There's a throw over to first. Alt back in safely. Alt 14 stolen bases on the year, and just one of those guys, Mark, that's got some really good speed and reads pitchers extremely well.
Yeah, and he's only been caught stealing 4 times. So, like you said, really good speed. And
there's a shot. That one out into right center field, drifting back, and that one is gone.
That is gone.
A 2-run home run for Joshua Koski. And the Carroll Merchants have grabbed the early 2-0 lead. Took an inside fastball and got the hands through the strike zone quickly, Mark. And that one was almost a no-doubter. I just wanted to make sure as I was calling it that it was going to be gone. But when it left the bat, you felt pretty good.
Yeah, and it was kind of to that deeper part of Merchants Park here, a little bit toward right center, not quite dead center where it's 392, but about over the 353 sign, so he got a hold of that one.
And that is his second home run since joining the Merchants. He's now up to 10 RBI. First pitch up top to Yasko, and the count 1-0. Yasko again on the year hitting 268, 9 double, and at 12 RBI. He's been one of the better bats in the lineup for the Merchants all season long. The 1-0 offering on the way. That one taken downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. I do write recap stories every night and post them to the CB Sports Network Facebook page and website and Twitter page. So you can check those out at sports.1380kcm.com. Even though I haven't been to many of the games, that's how I've been able to kind of keep up with it. The 2-0 pitch low and inside, and the count runs to 3-0. I do want to thank Mason Nealand, who has been our voice of the Merchants all season long. He was scheduled to be out of town today, so I'm filling in for him. 3-0 offering on the way, and that one in there for a strike, catching the inside corner, and the count runs to 3-1. So different too, Mark. You and I cover a ton of high school stuff. Right. Seeing the different strike zones that you see between what the Merchants see and what the high school see. 3-1 offering, fastball. Wow, that one looked like it was right down the middle. It was called ball 4.
Maybe a little bit low, but well, obviously a little bit low since he's on first base. But Yasko's another guy that you want to have on base.
Yep.
I had it.
Yeah, just one stolen base on the year.
Right. But still, I mean,
yep.
Somebody that can put pressure on, and especially with no outs already, great start for the Merchants.
Yeah, seems to be a guy that scores a lot for him this year, especially here as of late. 2 big runs in their loss last night.
Right.
They'll take a throw over to first as Ethan Cole will step in. Cole hitting 217 on the year, 7 double and 18 RBI. And there's a flare and a line drive shot out in the left field. Flared that one right off at the end of the bat. He'll be on with a single. So we've got 2 walks and 2 hits here in the ball game for the Merchants. And Wallace getting peppered a little bit here in his first start for the Clarinda A's.
And exactly what you want as a Merchants fan to see is them just getting a hold of balls and putting them where the Clarinda players aren't and putting pressure on the defense. No out still, and it's just a great start.
And that is going to bring up now Cullen McBride. McBride will step in, the right fielder, hitting 208. He has doubled 3 times and has driven in 16. He'll take the first pitch, a breaking ball. That one catches the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Nice crowd on hand here tonight. 6:30 start for this one. I imagine this crowd will get bigger and bigger and bigger as the game goes on. That's usually what happens.
Yep.
The 0-1 offering on the way. There is a swing and a miss. Nice breaking ball that time by Wallace, and the count is 0-2. We mentioned Michael Walt getting on base with that walk, Mark. Walks come back. You get that leadoff guy on, and walks can come back to haunt you. And I think Wallace felt he had to be a little more around the zone than maybe wanted to Koski after a 4-pitch walk. And there's another shot. That one, if it stays fair, is gone, and it is just a foul. Just a foul that time off of Cullen McBride down the left field line. He got all of that one. Went over just to the left. I'm not going to say over the foul pole because then it would be a home run, but it went just to the left of the foul pole mark, and I'm not thinking that missed by more than 6-8 inches.
No, that was very close. I mean, if somebody would have been standing at the Carroll softball shed to check into a game, then they probably would have had to duck because that one was hit pretty hard right in that area.
The 0-2 pitch coming up here for Wallace. McBride will step back in. Runners at first and second. There's a swing and a miss. Foul tip caught by the catcher. And that is going to be the first out here in the bottom half of the first inning. Merchants up 2-0 right now. You've got Yasko at second. Cole on over at first, and the batter is Blake Tigges, the third baseman. Tigges hitting 255 with a couple of double and 15 RBI on the year. Wallace out of the stretch, the pitch on the way. Breaking ball down in the dirt. Nice knockdown that time by the catcher, Sauger. And they count 1 ball and no strikes. Did a little catching back in my day. That was almost 40 years ago now. long, long time ago.
That was the one position that I never wanted to play when I played baseball. So
that one
never got to play it, but
lucky you. Lucky you. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike, and the count runs to 1-1. Yeah, sometimes when I say that, back in the day that I played, that some of the kids is the breaking ball in there's a chopper base hit out into left field. They're going to hold the runner at third, as getting to that one quickly was long out in left field. So Tigas will pick up the third hit. Moving down to third is Yasko. Up to second is Cole, and the bases are loaded for Chris Hagee. Hagee coming in, hitting 239, a couple of double and 9 RBI on the year. And I was just going to say that, kind of the same thing with football. Usually the kids today will look at me and say, did they have helmets back when you played? So Hagee will step in. Big situation here early, Mark. Right now the Merchants bats are rolling. Pitch on the way. That's a flare. That could be trouble out in the right, but drifting over now is Little. He'll make the catch. That is out number 2. They'll fire it into second base, and this Hagee going to pick up the sac fly and RBI. Yasko comes in, and Little almost acted like at first he thought that was out number 3, and then all of a sudden kind of threw it into second base.
Yeah, a little slow on the throw in to get it back in play, and easily allowed the run to score. So 3 runs here in the first inning. Really great start for the Merchants, who probably wanted to kind of maybe shake Wallace up a little bit.
And that'll bring up the catcher, Jordan Brandenburg. Brandenburg hitting 211, has doubled 5 times and has driven in 26. So even though the average not real good, he's one of the leading RBI guys for the Merchants, and the swing and a miss there. And the count is 0-1. And I imagine catching in this heat probably wears you down a little bit as the season goes on.
Yeah.
Runner still at first and second. Tigas over at first. Cole on at second. Those 2 runners did not move on that fly ball out into right center field. Pitch on the way. That one taken up top, and they count 1 ball and 1 strike. And when I said that could be trouble, Mark, I'm still kind of used to the high school kids. That one probably would have dropped in over the head of the second baseman, for a base hit, but It carried with these college kids and the strength that they have.
Yeah.
1-1 pitch coming up. That one taken outside. Nice backhand that time by the catcher, Sauger. Otherwise, that one gets to the backstop. Probably doesn't score anybody, but moves 2 runners instead of 1 runner into scoring position. 2-1 pitch coming up. Wallace comes with a fastball, lined right back up against the chicken wire here, and the count goes to 2-2. State baseball tournament again getting underway Monday here at Merchants Park. 1A quarterfinals Monday, 2A quarterfinals Tuesday. Then you have the semifinals for 1A on Wednesday. For 2A, it's Thursday, and then the championship game's Friday, if I remember correctly.
Yep, that's how I remember it. So
2-2 pitch on the way. There is a chopper foul over towards the Clarinda dugout. We're hoping to be here for all of the games. We will not be broadcasting. It's a very expensive thing for radio station staff to try and broadcast state games anymore, and that's not the association or the union's fault. I'm not throwing any shade towards them at all. There's exclusive broadcast rights, and if we broadcast, we have to pay those rights. Pitch on the way. That one is out into left center field. Drifting back is going to be long. I don't know if he's going to get there. He won't. By getting over there is a Masserini, the center fielder. He'll make the catch, and that will do it for the Merchants here in that first inning. But the Merchants do pick up 3 runs. The Merchants get that 3 runs. They get it on 3 hits. There was no errors and 2 runners left on base. Carroll on top of Clarinda 3-0 through 1 inning. We're back with the top of the second in 1 minute right here on the CB Sports Network.
Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been serving Lake City and the surrounding communities with new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Mackey Motors is a full-service dealership providing oil changes in our Quick Lube Express bays, a service department with world-class trained technicians, a body shop and collision center with the latest equipment, a full vehicle detailing department, or come talk with one of our highly knowledgeable sales staff.
Recipient of the GM Mark of Excellence Award for 15 years running. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City and MackeyMotors.com.
Get more with Stein. When it comes to soybean breeding, more generations equals additional yield. 2.2% more yield per generation. By introducing more new genetics faster than any other seed company, Stein delivers on the Stein has yield promise. For elite genetics paired with simple, flexible, and effective weed control, plant Stein Enlist E3 soybeans. Stein has yield. Yield plus advantage. Learn more at steinseed.com.
Coming to you live here from the Gatorade broadcast booth, distributed by Pepsi Beverages. Gatorade helping athletes fuel, recover, and perform. Jeff Leichman, Mark Schaefer with you here on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel. Again, Carroll Broadcasting Sports Network. And again, you can follow us for all of our high school games. And, of course, we do all of the home merchants games. And we'll have one more coming up next Sunday when they wrap up the regular season. I think they make the playoffs, but right now in a tie for that final playoff spot with Chillicothe. Mark, you were just saying during the break, that's exactly the start to the merchants we're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, just getting ahead of them. Obviously, the home run helps, but a lot of base runners on, just putting pressure on that defense, which will help them later on in the game.
Junior Barajas, Nick Masserini, Joey Little, the scheduled hitters for Clarinda as we start this second inning. The first pitch was a strike. That's a little blooper down the left field side, a long run. That's going to drop in. Getting over there to cut it off is Speaker. He's got tremendous speed, Mark, but that one not very far out into the outfield. Everybody giving chase. You had Yasko, the shortstop, Tigas, the third baseman, and Speaker coming in, and Speaker gets it off of the one hop, but going to be the first base hit here tonight for Clarinda.
Just a difficult spot to get to, like you said. Speaker does have great speed there in left field, but it's just hit so shallow, but yet so far away from where the third baseman was playing that Tigas couldn't get to it either. So a good spot for a base hit.
Nick Masserini will step in, hitting .323 on the year. He has doubled 3 times, homered once, and has driven in 12. He'll take the first pitch in there for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Now, the one thing you can't do is count this Clarinda team out with the amount of power and the batting averages that they have on this team. They're going to probably score some runs, but Ladner again got through that first inning unscathed in the 1-2-3 inning. But right now, 0-2 the count on Masserini as that fastball finds the inside corner. Barajas over at first, and you've got Ethan Cole holding him on right now.
Yeah, as you said, they do have a really good hitting team. .402 on base percentage, which is just...
Strike 3 called, and Masserini disagreeing with that one, but that ain't going to change the umpire's call, and that is the first out here in the inning, and that's going to bring up Joey Little for Ladner. That is strikeout number 21 here on the season, and of course the first here tonight. That'll bring up Joey Little, the right fielder, hitting .243 with 3 double, a home run, and at 21 RBI. Pretty decent lead for Barajas over at first. He's got 4 stolen bases on the air. There's a foul tip gloved by the catcher Brandenburg, and the count no balls and 1 strike. There is some wind tonight, not much of a wind. I'd say maybe 10 miles per hour. It's kind of out of the northwest, blowing from left over to right field. Fastball, that one popped up towards right center field. Drifting back is Alt. He's on the chase. Also getting over there to help out a little bit is McBride, the right fielder, but Alt going to make the catch. And there are 2 outs here in the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher Julian Sauger. Sauger coming in, hitting .306 with 4 double on the year. And we've kind of gotten used to Michael Alt. He played for the team last year and had a really good year, and now back again this year. He's going to become a folk hero, I think, for Merchant Baseball if he continues to play the way he is, at the plate and out in the outfield. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike to Sauger, and they count no balls and 1 strike because the kids really love these guys. The kids in this town, the small kids, the little kids that come out to all the games, they really look up to these guys. And with the way Aldis played in his 2 years, Mark, I think he's a guy that people will remember for a long time. Runner faked like he was going. There's a shot, a 1 hopper out to Speaker out in left field. So second base hit here in the inning for the A's, and that's going to put runners at first and second.
As you mentioned, the kids just really grow attached to these players. I know usually when I'm down taking pictures of the games, I see kids lining up with baseballs just trying to get the autographs from all the Merchants players. It's really great to see, and when you have a name that's recognizable as Michael Alt, then it's easy for him to become a folk hero.
First baseman Cord Gabrinski steps to the plate. First pitch taken up and in, and the count 1 ball. How different is it? You're usually down on the field taking pictures. First time in the broadcast booth, I think, and so what's this feeling like?
It is a little bit different, a little bit different view of the game than what I usually have, and but it's not bad. I mean, I used to stand up here or sit up here for games back when I had other people taking photos for me. But yeah, it's different, but it's also a good different, I guess.
1-0 pitch coming up here as they look down at the runner at second. That pitch down in the dirt. Nice knockdown by Brandenburg. And they count 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you need a good catcher. Pitchers want to throw balls in the dirt sometimes, and they've got to have confidence that that guy behind the plate's going to stop them and knock them down.
And especially when your coach is a former catcher himself, you tend to want to have a good catcher.
And Ben Berg, an outstanding one, coming off a tremendous career at Concordia as that pitch just misses and the count runs to 3-0. Was he just named Male Athlete of the Year by Concordia, if I remember correctly?
Yep, I saw that too. And
3-0 pitch on the way. That one in there for strike 1. And they count 3 balls and 1 strike. And I've been around this game my whole life. I used to sit down and keep scorebook for Major League Baseball games when I was a little kid. So that's how much I love the game of baseball. I still feel like I learn something every time I talk to one of the Bergs, though. Because, these guys, that whole family just knows the game. They look at it differently than what a lot of other people do. There is ball 4, and that is going to be the first walk given up here tonight from Ladner, and that is going to load the bases as Barajas moves down to third, Sauger up to second, and Dobrensky now on at first, and Luke Stout, the third baseman and number 9 hitter in the lineup for the A's, will step in. Stout coming in, hitting .231 with a double, does have a home run on the year, but is only driven in 6.
Interesting to see how the Merchants handle this. This is the first time that they've had bases loaded against them tonight.
Pitch on the way, that one taken outside. The nice thing is with 2 outs, you don't have to draw anybody in because you don't have to come home for that. It's the easiest base in this situation. So, if there was 1 out right now, you might see the corner infielders in to try that home to first double play. But we are early here, top of the second. Pitch on the way, up and away, and they count now 2 balls and no strikes. Inning began with a single from Barajas, then a strikeout to Masserini, and a flyout from Joey Little out to center field. And then Julian Sauger hit a single, and Cord Dobrensky walked to load the bases. So that's how the bases did get loaded with 2 outs here. 3-0 Merchants with the lead. That one's going to miss outside. And they count now 3 balls and no strikes. So after kind of cruising, Ladner all of a sudden got himself in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, just missing his spots a little bit. The last few pitches have been just outside or high, so needs to kind of reel back in.
There is strike called on the outside corner. Came back with a fastball on that one, and the count runs to 3 balls and 1 strike. Ladner taking his time. A guy that always goes from the stretch, so he's not uncomfortable in this situation. There's a shot out towards left, but Speaker's got a beat on it. He'll make the catch, and that is the final out of the inning. So the A's threaten here. They get the bases loaded but come up with no runs. They get no runs on it. 2 hits. There was no errors, and they leave 3 on base. We'll head to the bottom half of the second. It's a 3-0 Merchants lead. We're back with more Carroll Merchants baseball here on the CB Sports Network at YouTube channel.
Brunner, Reinhardt, and Morton is a general practice law with over 100 years of experience providing legal services in Carroll, Glidden, Coon Rapids, and Guthrie Center communities. And they're a proud supporter of this Merchants broadcast. Go Merchants!
Culver's famous custard is made fresh throughout the day, every day. With over 30 toppings to choose from, there is something for everyone. Grab a shake, malt, concrete mixer, or sundae. Find your favorite. Check out the flavor of the day online at culvers.com.
Culvers, welcome to Delicious.
Step up to more power and all-around capability with New Holland compact and subcompact tractors from Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City. The Workmaster Utility Series is a tough, practical workhorse providing unmatched comfort and simplicity. The Workmaster Utility Tractor, ready to complete any task with the productivity of the 12x12 powered shovel transmission and 4-wheel drive. Stop into Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City to see how the New Holland Workmaster tractors are the best utility tractors to help you complete those tasks efficiently.
Jeff Blankman and Mark Schaefer with you here tonight on the CB Sports Network at YouTube channel. Mr. Jeff Honnold down below us here, causing trouble. 350, so 350 is our paid attendance here tonight. Glad he didn't try to just mouth that to me. I probably wouldn't. He's got popcorn all over his mouth. I don't know if I'd have been able to tell, but Jeff's a good friend of mine, folks, so I get a chance to have a little fun with him every now and then. Lane speaker, Michael Alt to Joshua Koski. So 9-1 2-2 up. And Mark, you and I, we didn't cover Caminito, and that's not one of the high schools we cover, but they play enough of the schools that we do cover that we saw Lane a lot in his high school career, and what a young athlete this guy is, and he's like another leadoff hitter right now with his speed in this number 9 hole.
Yeah, and I like what Ben has done with him, putting him in the number 9 hole because, usually that's kind of thought of as not the best hitter. I batted in the number 9 hole a lot.
0-1 pitch, breaking ball, misses low and away, and the count runs to 1-1. I won't say anything.
But, putting a solid hitter at the bottom of the lineup really changes the dynamic of how you have to pitch to him.
1-1 pitch in there, fastball catches the inside corner, and the count runs to 1-2. I was like, man, he just set me up there, and I'm not usually, folks, if you don't know me, I'm not usually one that doesn't take that shot, but I'll be nice to Mark today.
I tried to go fast, so you kind of want to be able to respond to that.
The 1-2 pitch down in the dirt. The count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Speaker again hitting 204, 2 double, a triple, and a home run on the year. He'll take that pitch inside. It almost got him on the top of the feet, and the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Defense deep up the middle right now. You've got the shortstop, Palmilia, and there is a little chopper, a little pop-up, I should say, out to the shortstop, Palmilia. He'll make the catch, and that is the first out. Palmilia and Orheim at second. Orheim at second, Mark, were really playing almost in the dirt, in the grass, in the outfield grass. That's how deep they were up the middle.
Yeah, they were probably a foot or two away from the grass, if not on the grass, and we kind of saw why as the pop-up went almost straight to the shortstop.
Michael Alt walked his first time up in 4 pitches, takes the first pitch here. I didn't catch that one. I think it was ball 1, but waiting for them to put it up on the board. Well, yep, ball 1. Pitch in there for strike now, and the count runs to 1-1. So again, Alt walked in 4 pitches his first time up, come in to score the first run of the game. Had a pretty much an easy run scored. He was able to jog around the bases as Koski, the next scheduled hitter, hit a shot over the right center field fence. There's a swing and a miss, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch, little flare, reached out and just poked that one out towards left field, went opposite field. Gavin Long will drift back and makes the catch. And Mark, that's a really nice piece of hitting by Alt. He kind of starts down the first base side and then just kind of gets the head of that bat into the thick part of the bat out there and just kind of punches that ball out towards left field. But I think he has more power than what people realize.
And he's an opposite field hitter a lot of the time, which kind of throws the defense off.
Joshua Koski, who again had that 2-run blast, will take the first pitch low and inside, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 pitch on the way, breaking ball. That one is chopped a foul up the first base side. Good thing that Scott Parcher's as good with this field as what he is, because that one landed in the dirt up the first base side. And if this field wasn't immaculate like it always is with Scott, that could have taken a hop into fair territory, and Koski stayed at the plate. But it takes such a true bounce with Scott Parcher. That one back up against the fence, and the count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And you really got to just marvel at this field. There's not a lot of nights off for this field, and it still looks immaculate.
And especially for as dry of a summer as what we had. That tells you what Scott has done. Usually, maybe at this time of the year, you can kind of see exactly where the left fielders stand a lot. But other than that, this field looks absolutely, it almost looks like it's at the beginning of the year rather than the high school season. Now down to just 5 weeks of the state tournament. There's a shot again. That one is a tough ball out in the shallow left of it, drifting back, and then dropping the ball is going to be the shortstop, Amelia. He drifted out in the shallow left field, had it, but it came off the palm of the glove and didn't have that second hand up there. I'm sure if Randy Snyder was in the stands right now, Randy'd probably be shaking his head because, him, John Waddle, 2 of those really, really fundamentally solid high school coaches. And that was just a non-fundamental play by the shortstop, Amelia. And the drop will put a runner at first and bring up Bryce Yasko.
Definitely kind of looked like he had his eyes on the dugout after he felt the ball come into his glove and it just rolled off.
And there is a pop foul. That one's going to get out of play up the first base side, up into the bleachers. And that'll just miss the bleachers. And the count is at 1-0. They played a little crash sound, but it actually didn't get into the parking lot area. But not trying to be hard on the young guy, just didn't get his second hand up there, and that's part of the reason why that ball popped out. And the count 0-1 right now on Yasko. Yasko walked and scored his first time up. Came in to score on a sac fly by Hagee, excuse me. The 0-1 pitch misses, and the count now 1 ball and 1 strike on Bryce Yasko. Yasko again, the shortstop, 268 hitter, but Mark seems like when the Merchants are playing well, his bat's going well.
Yeah,
throw over to first and back in it safely.
He seems to be a very momentum type batter.
Yes.
And carries it really well, so it'll be interesting to see how he can respond to this situation.
Koski, a pretty comfortable lead, doesn't have any stolen bases, and with 2 outs, more than likely not going to run, but they almost had him over at first here a moment ago, the 1-1 pitch up top, and the count runs to 2 balls and 1 strike. Dobrinsky, the first baseman, is holding him on. 2-1 pitch coming up here. And there is a shot. That one out towards right center field. Drifting back is a little. Is he going to get there? He will. Lost his hat. That wasn't the ball if you're looking on the camera. That was his hat. And that is going to be the final out of the inning. So the Merchants get a runner on, but don't get any hits. No runs on it. No hits. 1 error and 1 left. We're through 2 complete. Again, this is a 9-inning ball game. We'll head back to the top of the 3rd. Merchants on top, 3-0. We're back in a minute here on it. The CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Starting a new job or even a new career can be scary, but starting a career at Collins Aerospace is exciting and rewarding. From the clean and safe manufacturing environment to the satisfaction of knowing that your work helps keep people safe in the skies, Collins Aerospace is the opportunity you've been waiting for, offering competitive salary, amazing benefits, and sign-on bonuses. This is an exceptional opportunity to join a highly dedicated team. For more information or to apply online, visit jobs.collinsaerospace.com. Collins Aerospace, aerospace redefined.
Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with signature butter burgers made with fresh, never frozen Midwest raised beef. Pair it with Wisconsin cheese curds and made daily, fresh frozen custard. Now that's a winning combination.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Grease Oil believes in always going the extra mile for our customers. During the busiest times of the year, you never have to worry about your gas and diesel tanks going empty. Our reliable fuel delivery service will keep your operation running smoothly. Call us about your bulk, motor oil, and DEF fluid needs. Grease Oil, fueling your life one delivery at a time.
Welcome you back out here to Merchants Park, heading to the top of the 3rd inning. Again, a 9-inning ball game here tonight. Second to the last home game of the regular season. Merchants back home next Sunday to wrap up the regular season. Again, got to get into the playoffs to get a couple of more games. They'll be on the road all of next week with the state baseball tournament here in town. For Clarinda, they're going to bring up the top of the order Gavin Young, Cole Warheim, and Anthony Palmilia. Long takes the first pitch outside for ball 1 against Ladner. The 1-0 pitch on the way. That one just misses the outside corner, and they count 2 balls and no strikes. He's been very consistent, but this strike zone appears to be really small.
Yeah, and I've noticed, especially the last inning and going into this inning, Ladner's really tried to paint the outside of the just missing a little bit.
I will tell you this, Ladner looks a little bit like Ben Berg with that goatee out there on the hill, does he not?
Yeah, and the hair coming out
the
the
hair
back
coming
too.
out the back, yep. 3-0 the count right now. 3-0 pitch on the way. That one in there for strike 1. So Long popped up to the second baseman, Chris Hagee, his first time up. So he is looking for his first base hit here tonight. There is a shot, that one out towards deep center field. Alt on his horse. He's drifting back, but reads the ball off of the bat so well, he'll come up with the catch. Made it look pretty easy out there into deep right center field, and that is the first out here in the inning. It's going to bring up Cole Warheim. Warheim flew out to center field, out to Alt his first time up. I think that one was the shallow one where everybody for the shortstop, second baseman, and center fielder all converged on it. First pitch on the way, breaking ball in there for a strike, and the count is 0-1. And you can hear the cowbells. They're beginning to chime just a little bit more here. Pitch on the way, another breaking ball, really nice pitch, and the count runs to no balls and 2 strikes.
And Ladner seems to have found his spot that he likes and that he's comfortable with now, and obviously 2 strikes have shown why.
2-0 pitch. Called strike 3. That'll be strikeout number 2 for Ladner here in the ballgame. And there are 2 outs here in the inning, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Anthony Palmilia. Palmilia flew out to right field his first time up. But Mark, I tell you what, to me it looks like Wallace comes right over the top, and Ladner's more of, I would call it maybe 3/4 with his delivery out there on the hill. So a little different look for the batters here tonight. And the pitch on the way. Both guys, though, do a really nice job of kind of hiding that ball kind of back behind the head and then snapping down through. So it's one that I think batters have a hard time on, both of these guys picking that ball up right away.
Well, even from up here, it's kind of hard to see it all the way out of his hand, and especially the rotation. So.
1-0 pitch up top, count runs to 2-0. I've never had good enough eyesight to worry about seeing the spin on the ball. When I played, 18,000 years ago, I just tried to guess what was going to be a breaking ball or fastball. That one is shot. That's going to get off of the third baseman, Tigges, but over to the shortstop and making the play is Jasko. Lucky bounce that time for the Merchants, as that is the final out of the inning. It was a shot, folks, down the third base side. A short hop on the backhand side to Tigges. It bounced off either his glove or his arm, bounced up into the air towards Jasko at shortstop. Jasko then was able to field the ball and make a strong throw to get Palmilia out over at first base. So 5-6-3 is technically how you grade that one. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left in the top of the third. Merchants lead at 3-0. We're back right after this on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Get more with Stein. When it comes to soybean breeding, more generations equals additional yield. 2.2% more yield per generation. By introducing more new genetics faster than any other seed company, Stein delivers on the Stein has yield promise. For elite genetics paired with simple, flexible, and effective weed control, plant Stein Enlist E3 soybeans. Stein has yield. Yield plus advantage. Learn more at steinseed.com.
Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been serving Lake City and the surrounding communities with new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Mackey Motors is a full-service dealership providing oil changes in our Quick Lube Express bays, a service department with world-class trained technicians, a body shop and collision center with the latest equipment, a full vehicle detailing department, or come talk with one of our highly knowledgeable sales staff.
Recipient of the GM Mark of Excellence Award for 15 years running. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City and MackeyMotors.com.
Ethan Cole to lead things off for the Carroll Merchants. We head to the bottom of the third. First pitch to Cole in there for a strike. And the count is 0-1. Cole singled his first time up. Was stranded out at second base back in the first inning. There's a swing and a miss at the breaking ball, and the count runs to 0-2. Cole, McBride, and Tigges are the scheduled hitters for the Merchants here in the bottom of the third inning. Pitch on the way. That one is a check swing over to the Clarinda dugout. That one just off of the fist. It almost looked more like he was trying to protect his face as that one was up and in.
Kind of looked like he got a read on it early that it was coming up, and then check swing and just hit almost by where his hands were.
0-2 pitch downstairs. Count runs to 1-2 strikes. Again, the Merchants at Joplin tomorrow. There's a chopper foul up the third base side, and the count remains 1-2 strikes. Trying to look at their schedule here real quick. I know they go to Joplin on Monday, and then they're at Joplin on Tuesday. And then they go to Nevada Wednesday and Thursday. There is strike 3 to Cole. That'll be the second strikeout here tonight for Wallace. First out here in the inning, and that'll bring up Colin McBride, who is the other strikeout. He struck out swinging for the first out back in the first inning. So they're at Joplin Monday and Tuesday, at Nevada Wednesday, at Nevada on Thursday. And then they get Friday and Saturday off before coming back to host the same Clarinda team coming up again on Sunday of next week. So, Mark, hard to believe that the season winding down here for the Merchants.
Yeah, I know they started playing during Memorial Day, but the month of June has just flown by.
1-0 the count right now on McBride. Breaking ball just misses inside, and the count runs to 2-0 strikes. Yeah, it's just as fast as the high school season seems to go anymore. Hard to believe we're down to state already.
Yeah.
Count runs to 3-0. The sad thing is I'm already starting to work on our fall broadcast schedule, so I've got to work on that tomorrow because we need to get everything set up and ready to go for the fall sports season. I know it'll be a couple of weeks before I can probably put together our volleyball broadcast schedule, but I got to get that football one wrapped up tomorrow. Pitch on the way. There is going to be ball 4. So you get the 4 or 5 pitch strikeout, then you come back with the 4 pitch walk. So a runner at first in McBride. That'll bring up Blake Tigas, who singled his first time up. Not much of a break between seasons anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like there's always a bigger break, obviously, between the end of baseball season and softball season to the start of the fall sports, but really that month of August, again, it's another fast one.
Throw over to first, back in it safely as a McBride. McBride, 6 stolen bases on the year, so one of those guys for the Merchants that doesn't mind stealing bases. First pitch on the way, breaking ball up top. And they count now 1 ball and no strikes.
And that's another thing with the reliever pitcher has in Wallace. They may not see a lot of stolen bases when they come on, so kind of surprised that Carroll hasn't maybe tried to steal more, but they also haven't needed to.
Pitch downstairs, 2-0, the count right now on at Tigas. And, you know, I haven't been to a lot of the games, neither of you. We're always out covering high school stuff, but, you know, just looking at their stolen base numbers, it's not a Merchants team that really runs a tremendous amount. You've got a few guys that kind of do, but it's not everybody on the team. Chopper, it's going to be fielded by the third baseman. The throw to second in time. The turn of the double play is in time, and that was a nice play that time. Stout gets it over to Warheim, and Warheim over to Dobrinsky. It's for the 5-4-3 double play, and that turn by Warheim was really, really nice because that was a high chopper over to Stout. You knew you could still get that lead runner at second, but the play to first was going to be tough to make.
Really 2 great plays by a third baseman to end the third inning. Of course, the top of the third ended with that crazy bounce for the Merchants, and then again, like you said, just a high hopper, but fielded just perfectly enough that they were able to pull that double play.
No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left for the Merchants in the bottom of the third. They'll take a 3-0 lead into the fourth. We're back in 1 minute. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Brunner, Reinhardt, and Morton is a general practice law with over 100 years of experience providing legal services in Carroll, Glidden, Coon Rapids, and Guthrie Center communities. And they're a proud supporter of this Merchants broadcast. Go Merchants!
Culver's famous custard is made fresh throughout the day, every day. With over 30 toppings to choose from, there is something for everyone. Grab a shake, malt, concrete mixer, or sundae. Find your favorite. Check out the flavor of the day online at culvers.com.
Culvers, welcome to Delicious.
Mark, I thought you were going to keep singing there. They're playing We Are the Champions over the loudspeaker, folks, and I'll be honest, both Mark and I were singing as we were in the commercial break, but I'm the one that knows when the commercial ends. I thought I was going to catch Mark still cheering. Laura Sweeney, who is kind of the marketing young lady for the Merchants, former Carroll High School grad over at Iowa State, and does a fantastic job in their marketing department. There's a shot on the first pitch by Barajas, but drifting under it and making the catch is going to be McBride. And there is a 1 out here in the inning. So Barajas, Massarini, and Joey Little are the scheduled hitters for Clarinda as we head here to the top of the fourth. 3-0 at Merchants, where the leader's talking about Laura Sweeney. I know she works over there with a bunch of Carroll area kids. Mallory, why can't I not think of her name? Mallory Bading. There we go. Mallory Bading's a part of that. And about 4 or 5 of them, if I remember right. There's a foul ball back, and the count is 0-1. But Laura has done that for the Merchants all summer long, running back and forth between Ames and Carroll to do that. First pitch to Massarini, fouled back. And the count is 0-1. Ladner working quickly here in the fourth. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count runs to 1-1. I did have to ask her today, Mike, was it fun doing that little video that they threw out on Instagram and on TikTok? I don't have TikTok, of course, but they did this one where they're running around with the jerseys and stuff, and I saw it that was put out here a couple of weeks ago. 2-1 the count right now on Massarini. John Wagner throwing things up into the crowd. 2-1 pitch, fouled back up against the screen.
Surprised he's not kicking it with all his soccer knowledge.
Yeah, we're going to have to. If he looks up at me, I'm going to say. He won't look up, though, because he knows I'm going to give him a hard time.
He does got a good arm on him.
He does. Yeah, for a soccer guy, 2-2 pitch on the way. There's a swing and a miss. Another strikeout here for the Merchants. Ladner picking up his third of the ballgame, out number 2 here in this fourth inning. And Mark, for Ladner not being a guy that starts a lot, he's really looked pretty comfortable out on the hill here.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a few go outside the zone, but once he locates the zone, he's really able to zone it, square in on it, and he's done a great job.
2 outs, nobody on. There's a chopper foul over to third by Little. And the count is 0-1. Little flew out to center field for the second out in the second inning. And really that second inning where he gave up 2 hits and the 1 walk and they left the bases loaded in that inning is really the only inning that Clarinda's done much against him here today.
Yeah.
For a team with a really good batting average.
And it's the only time that Ladner's really been outside the zone, and he didn't miss too much. Just when he did, he tended to kind of miss a lot in that area. So.
Breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-2 of the count, and there is a shot gloved over there nicely. Nice diving catch at third base by Atigas, and that is going to end the inning for the A's. A 1-2-3 again. More great defense by the Carroll Merchants. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's a 3-0 Merchant lead. We're back right after this on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Step up to more power and all-around capability with New Holland compact and subcompact tractors from Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City. The Workmaster Utility Series is a tough, practical workhorse providing unmatched comfort and simplicity. The Workmaster Utility Tractor, ready to complete any task with the productivity of the 12x12 powered shuttle transmission and 4-wheel drive. Stop into Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City to see how the New Holland Workmaster tractors are the best utility tractors to help you complete those tasks efficiently.
Starting a new job or even a new career can be scary, but starting a career at Collins Aerospace is exciting and rewarding. From the clean and safe manufacturing environment to the satisfaction of knowing that your work helps keep people safe in the skies, Collins Aerospace is the opportunity you've been waiting for, offering competitive salary, amazing benefits, and sign-on bonuses. This is an exceptional opportunity to join a highly dedicated team. For more information or to apply online, visit jobs.collinsaerospace.com. Collins Aerospace, aerospace redefined.
We welcome you back out here to beautiful Merchants Park. Again, historic Merchants Park, built in 1949. So we're getting near 75 years. I think next summer will be 75 years since this ballpark was built. And I think Jeff Arnold might have been on the committee back then. He already came and gave us a look, so, as long as he's going to do that, I'm going to keep throwing bombs at him. But there's a first pitch in there to Hagee for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Hagee will be followed by Brandenburg and Lane Speaker. I'll head back to my office tonight and type up a recap story of this game. After it's done, there is a chopper foul, and the count runs to 0-2. Hagee hit a sac fly out to right field, driving in a run his first time up. That coming back in the first inning, so he's got an RBI here on the night. The 0-2 offering coming up here. It is on the way. That one is taken, I guess, outside or low or something for ball one.
A little low, but not much.
I was a lefty, still am today. Anything low below the knees, I loved. And there's a chopper, so when the low pitches don't get called, I always kind of like, wow, really? I'd swing at anything below the belt. Maybe that's why I'm such a bad golfer.
You'd think that'd make you a better golfer.
Yeah, but trying to hit baseballs out of the dirt ain't always good either.
Yeah.
That pitch down in the dirt. And the count 2-2. And I'm not trying to be hard on the umpire. I think he's been really consistent, and you got to adjust to the strike zone that's being called. I like having a little larger strike zone. 2-2 pitch on the way. That is a fly ball out towards right field. That could be trouble. Coming over and making a very nice running catch is the second baseman, Warhide. And that was one of those folks that's kind of in that triangle up the first base line. You got the third baseman Dobrinsky dropping back. Warheim's coming from second. He's got a good angle at it. And then Little, your right fielder, maybe had the easiest angle at it, Mark. But Warheim, the second baseman, called everybody off and makes the play.
And Warheim made a little adjustment on the ball, not quite over his head where you want to catch it, but still able to catch it in the breadbasket, I have to say. So.
And that'll bring up Brandenburg, who flew out to center to end the first inning. That was that 3-run first inning for the Merchants, and he'll take the first pitch in there for a strike, and the count is on 1. The Merchants have had, 2 base runners, but then they got doubled up. But they've had 2 base runners since that first inning. So Wallace has really settled in. There's a 1 hopper over to third. Scooping is Stout, the throw to first in time. 2 up and 2 down. So really, Mark, both pitchers have kind of settled in for 2 guys that don't start on the hill much and are more relievers. This has been a well-pitched first about 3 and 3 full innings and 2/3 of the next inning.
Yeah, obviously Wallace kind of had that shaky start with the home run and the walk, but for a reliever, he's really shown the mentality that you need as a starter.
Pitch on the way is taken downstairs right now by Speaker. Lane popped up to the shortstop, just up the middle a little bit back in the second inning. That was the first out in that second. Pitch on the way, taken downstairs in the count 2-0. Since giving up 3 hits in that first inning and 2 walks. He hasn't given up, actually it was 1 walk, so 3 hits and a walk in that first inning. He's only had 1 walk so far since then. And there's a swing and a miss and no hits given up since then.
Now the thing you might want to watch out for as a reliever is usually they aren't known to go too terribly deep in games.
Yep.
So maybe around the 5th, 6th inning we might see some changes, but
2-1 pitch, breaking ball, misses, and the count runs to 3-1. That one missing low and inside. Comes back with a fastball up top. And that'll be a walk number 4 given up by him here tonight. And that is going to bring up now Michael Alt. So you got that dangerous top of the order coming up here for the Merchants. Alt tonight walked and scored in the first and then flew out to left in the second. So he is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored here tonight. And Speaker, 13 stolen bases. He's got that blazing speed out there. Pitch on the way. Now, and down in the dirt, Speaker might take third on that one. He's going to round the bag as it goes up the third base line, but getting to it quickly is Sauger, the catcher. So Speaker will move up on the wild pitch in the count 1-0 now on Alt. And, speaking, and I don't want to sound like we're bragging on Mr. Speaker too much, but he was one of those rare kids that I watch that you see him in track and you know he's fast. And then you watch him when he puts pads on, and I almost thought he was faster on the football field with pads on than he was, even on the baseball diamond or in track.
Well, we talked about it when he was in high school, but he kind of single-handedly carried Cam to the dome when he was playing in high school. So he's got that speed just all around.
Yeah, they had some really good talent around him, but it was a lot of Lane Speaker left, Lane Speaker right, and then drop back and throw one down the middle with Lane Speaker throwing it down the middle to whoever was, running down the middle. 2 balls, no strikes right now on Alt. And the pitch on the way, chopped up the middle. This is going to be a tough play. It's going to be off the glove of the second baseman. Speaker running with 2 outs will come in to score, and the lead is 4-0 in favor of the Merchants. We'll see if they grade that a hit or an error. I'm thinking it should be an error, and it is going to be an error. Because to me, it was going to be a tough play. I think he was looking to see where Alt was at, took the eye off the ball just a little bit, but that was a high chopper, and Warheim probably should have made that play, but that'll be error number 2 on the A's here today. And there's a swing and a miss to Koski. Koski hit a 2-run home run to right center back in the first inning, and then grounded to the shortstop and reached on an error back in the second inning. The 0-1 offering coming up as the Merchants crowd's gotten quiet. There's a chopper that's going to get through out into right field. Alt's going to hold up at second base. So Koski continues to be a strong and a hot mat for the Merchants. And that is going to be hit number 4 for them here tonight. They lead it 4-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Bryce Yasko will step to the plate. And we're going to get a visit to the mound here from the A's manager. And Mark, I lost my roster. They came and stole it from me earlier, so you're going to have to tell me who the manager is here. Ryan Eberle is the head coach, and he is making a appearance out on the mound.
Looks like they are changing pitchers right away. So
Yep, so we're going to get a pitching change. We'll step away back with more Merchants baseball here on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with signature butter burgers made with fresh, never frozen Midwest raised beef. Pair it with Wisconsin cheese curds and made daily, fresh frozen custard. Now that's a winning combination.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Grease Oil believes in always going the extra mile for our customers. During the busiest times of the year, you never have to worry about your gas and diesel tanks going empty. Our reliable fuel delivery service will keep your operation running smoothly. Call us about your bulk, motor oil, and DEF fluid needs. Grease Oil, fueling your life one delivery at a time.
Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been serving Lake City and the surrounding communities with new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Mackey Motors is a full-service dealership providing oil changes in our Quick Lube Express bays, a service department with world-class trained technicians, a body shop and collision center with the latest equipment, a full vehicle detailing department, or come talk with one of our highly knowledgeable sales staff.
Recipient of the GM Mark of Excellence Award for 15 years running. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City and MackeyMotors.com.
Get more with Stein. When it comes to soybean breeding, more generations equals additional yield. 2.2% more yield per generation. By introducing more new genetics faster than any other seed company, Stein delivers on the Stein has yield promise. For elite genetics paired with simple, flexible, and effective weed control, plant Stein Enlist E3 soybeans. Stein has yield. Yield plus advantage. Learn more at steinseed.com.
Colby Royal, our new pitcher here for the Clarinda A's. We're here in the bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch is swing and a miss to Yasko, and the count is 0-1. Royal coming in 2-2 on the year. This is going to be his sixth game pitched. He's thrown 21 innings. His ERA at 5.52. But to give you some other numbers here on him, struck out to 16, pitch on the way, came sidearm, and there's a swing and a miss, and the count runs to 0-2.
And that's something he didn't do his very first pitch. It was more over the top, but like you said, the last pitch was completely sidearm.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, if you can change arm angles like that, that gets pretty impressive, and it gets really hard for a hitter.
Yeah.
If the guy's giving you different arm angles on every pitch. Merchants have runners at first and second, Alt at second, Koski at first. Unearned run scored here in this fourth inning. They lead at 4-0. The 0-2 pitch misses, and the count runs to 1-2. So the two guys on base would still be credited to Wallace, who started the game, so his book not done yet. But Royal taking over 3 2/3 innings, and there is a foul ball back up against the screen as Yasko stays alive, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Yasko walked and scored in the first and then flew out to right in the second. Pitch on the way. There's a fly ball down the right field line, drifting foul, and it'll end up in foul territory. But a nice piece of hitting again, took an outside fastball and just got the bat on it, and that's what you need to do, Mark. We kind of talked a little bit throughout the high school season this year. Tons, baseball and softball, tons of third pitch looking strikeouts this year, and you know, we were both taught, you know, when you were young and stuff, that, you know, anytime that you got 2 strikes, you got to, anything close, if it could possibly call strike, you just got to foul it off. Chopper up the middle, nice play that time by Royal. He'll field it and flips over to first for the final out of the inning, but the Merchants do push a run across the board. They get that 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error, and they leave it 2 runners left on base. Merchants lead it 4-0 through 4. We're back right after this on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Brunner, Reinhardt, and Morton is a general practice law with over 100 years of experience providing legal services in Carroll, Glidden, Coon Rapids, and Guthrie Center communities. And they're a proud supporter of this Merchants broadcast. Go Merchants!
Culver's famous custard is made fresh throughout the day, every day. With over 30 toppings to choose from, there is something for everyone. Grab a shake, malt, concrete mixer, or sundae. Find your favorite. Check out the flavor of the day online at culvers.com.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Step up to more power and all-around capability with New Holland compact and subcompact tractors from Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City. The Workmaster Utility Series is a tough, practical workhorse providing unmatched comfort and simplicity. The Workmaster Utility Tractor, ready to complete any task with the productivity of the 12x12 powered shuttle transmission and four-wheel drive. Stop into Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City to see how the New Holland Workmaster tractors are the best utility tractors to help you complete those tasks efficiently.
We head into inning number 5. It has been all Carroll Merchants here today. They put 4 runs across the board with just 4 hits. Jack Blankman and Mark Schaefer with you. Julian Sauger, Cord Doberinsky, and Luke Stout are the scheduled hitters. And there is a shot foul down the third baseline. That one going to get over the off of the bottom of the fence. And the count is 0-1. So just a long foul ball by Sauger, who singled his first time up back in the second inning, was eventually stranded out at second base.
Yeah, I thought that one was over the fence for sure.
Breaking ball up and in. And the count now 1-1. So 7, 8, 9 due up for Clarinda here in this 5th inning against Ryan Ladner. Pitch on the way. That one is fouled out of play up the first base side. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And you know Scott Parcher will be right back out into this field tonight as soon as this game's over, starting to get this field ready to go. For him, I'm glad that there's no game tomorrow. Yeah. There's a shot off of the fist, an inside breaking ball, going to be punched out to left field for the base hit by Sauger. And that'll be hit number 3 given up here tonight for the Merchants and at pitcher Ryan Ladner. So a leadoff single will bring up a Doberinsky. Doberinsky walked his first time up. And Mark, that's their first base runner since the second inning. And it is just the second time here tonight that they've had the leadoff man on base.
Yeah, and all 3 of their hits have kind of come to that left side. So
foul ball back out of play by Doberinsky again, who walked back in the second inning, and the count is 0-1. Now, I'm just glad for Scott that he has the whole day tomorrow. He doesn't have like a game at some point tomorrow and then have to come out here and try and get things ready for state Monday morning.
Yeah, that's just great scheduling by everyone involved.
Pitch taken downstairs, and the count goes to 1-1. And I know we're going to be at the Carroll Broadcasting Sports Network. We're going to be writing articles for every single one of the state baseball games. So you can find that at sportsnet1380kcim.com. So check those out on our website. There is a shot. That'll be a base hit out into the left center field gap, racing over a speaker. He throws it into second. Heads up play. I thought maybe when he threw that one, Mark, as Sauger digs for third, that he was going to try and get Sauger. But for anybody young players watching this on our YouTube channel, he probably wasn't going to get Sauger at third. But in throwing that into second, he forced the runner, Doberinsky, to stay at first base. So now instead of having to throw to third and Doberinsky moves up to second, you got 2 runners in scoring position. Now you got runners on the corner, and technically only one of those guys in scoring position as Luke Stout will step in.
And he did kind of look towards third like he wanted to throw it there, but made the very smart decision to go to second.
Another shot. That one is going to be caught by Speaker as this time he had to play. They are going to tag the runner from third, and Speaker with that strong arm able to get it back in, and Sauger will hold up. And the runner at first stays as well. So that is just a routine fly out to Stout. But that is Speaker 2 things. 1, playing in the right position. They adjusted him over a little bit into that gap in left center field. 2, read it off at the bat really well. 3, Mark, he caught that thing coming forward, so his momentum was coming into the throw. That allowed him to get even a better throw in the infield.
Yeah, and really from the catch to the throw was less than a second, so great speed on his arm too.
Runner takes off for second in with the stolen base, and they cut that one off that time with Yasko, Mark, and that forces Sauger to not be able to score from third. So now there are runners at second and third with a 1 out, and the top of the order is up in Gavin Long. Long tonight, 0 for 2, a pop-up to the second baseman in the first inning, a fly out to center field in the third. Pitch on the way, and that one is a line drive. That'll hop in front of Alt. Everybody going to move up a bag. They'll throw it into third. Long will round the bag, takes a look, but does not come over to second, but the RBI single will get Clarinda on the board. And all of a sudden, we've got a 4-1 ball game with runners on the corner and one out. And the heart of the order coming up now for Clarinda as Cole Warheim, the second baseman, will step in. Warheim flew out to center in the first, struck out looking in the third, but it's the number 2 guy in the order. And Mark, the third time through the lineup now against Ladner. We'll see the adjustments that Clarinda has made as the runner goes. That one popped up. It's going to drift back. And coming back is going to be Brandenburg. He is going to make the catch. And that is going to be the second out. Hold on here. Did we get a balk call? We did?
We did, yeah.
We got a balk call. I was wondering because the runner from third came in to score and Carroll wasn't throwing it over there. So the field umpire calling a balk. So Dobrinsky scores from third and Long will move up to second.
And I was going to say that was a big out to get 2 outs on the board, but obviously with the balk, that does score a run, so puts a little bit more pressure on Carroll.
I was thinking the same thing. Pitch in there for a strike now on Warheim. And the count is no balls in, 1 strike. Actually, yeah, no balls in 1 strike, sorry. The 0-1 offering on the way. All of a sudden, Clarinda right back into this one. There's another pop-up. Brandenburg going to give chase, but that one's going to get out to play, and the count runs to 0-2. We mentioned it early, Mark, even when it was 3-0, that this Clarinda offense knows how to score runs. You don't have a bunch of college guys in this league hitting, well above 300 if you don't hit the ball well, and all of a sudden now the bats have come alive a little bit here in this 5th inning.
Yeah, we hadn't seen it much through the first 4 innings, but now the bats for Clarinda have kind of woken up.
Pitch on the way. That one is popped up. That one is going to drift in foul territory, but going over and making the catch is going to be the first baseman, Cole, and then he makes a strong throw over to third, and that keeps Long at second base. There are now 2 outs here in the inning. And that'll bring up Anthony Palmalia. Palmalia came in, flew out to right field in the first, and grounded out to short in the third. So Ladner doing a good job here, getting a couple of pop-ups, Mark, to maybe battle himself out of some trouble here and get himself out of this inning with only a few runs given up.
Exactly. Just being able to not get Clarinda into their power is really helping Carroll stay on top.
Pitch on the way. That one is in there for strike 1. No, the balk call, the catch behind home plate was not an out because it was a balk. Yep. Everybody was thinking they had 2 outs on the board earlier, but there was only 1 out because the foul ball that was caught behind home plate was not actually a catch. There's a shot, a one-hopper picked up nicely that time by Hagee, the second baseman, that kind of got up into his belly, and it bounced in front of him. He was able to pick it up and throw out Palmalia for the final out. So the A's, they get 2 runs. They get those 2 runs on 3 hits. There was no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. We are through 4.5 innings. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. It's a 4-2 ball game. We're back in 1 minute here on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Starting a new job or even a new career can be scary, but starting a career at Collins Aerospace is exciting and rewarding. From the clean and safe manufacturing environment to the satisfaction of knowing that your work helps keep people safe in the skies, Collins Aerospace is the opportunity you've been waiting for, offering competitive salary, amazing benefits, and sign-on bonuses. This is an exceptional opportunity to join a highly dedicated team. For more information or to apply online, visit jobs.collinsaerospace.com. Collins Aerospace, aerospace redefined.
Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests 1 meal at a time with signature butter burgers made with fresh, never frozen Midwest raised beef. Pair it with Wisconsin cheese curds and made daily, fresh frozen custard. Now that's a winning combination.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Grease Oil believes in always going the extra mile for our customers. During the busiest times of the year, you never have to worry about your gas and diesel tanks going empty. Our reliable fuel delivery service will keep your operation running smoothly. Call us about your bulk, motor oil, and DEF fluid needs. Grease Oil, fueling your life, 1 delivery at a time.
We head here to the bottom of the 5th inning. Got to start off by picking on Jeff Honnold a little bit more just because, well, he deserves it. One, he just threw some popcorn at me as hard as he possibly could, and he missed what I expected because I don't think he's ever thrown anything on target in his life. But we head here to the bottom of the 5th inning. Ethan Cole, Cullen McBride, and Blake Tiggis are the scheduled hitters, and the pitch on the way is going to be taken for ball 2. Merchants lead this one 4-2. Mark, getting a little interesting here with that 2-run top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, Clarinda definitely started to show their bats a little bit and puts a lot of pressure on Carroll. I mean, they still have a 2-run lead, but in baseball, 2 runs can go off the board very quickly, as we saw in the first inning with a 2-run home run.
3-0 pitch to Cole, taken for ball 4. So the Merchants get a lead off a walk against Royal. And that is going to be the 5th walk here tonight given up by Clarinda pitching. You said in between innings that the Clarinda management right now seems to be a little frustrated with what they've seen out of their team here today.
Yeah, you come into the game, we've talked about it all game, but they are really good hitters, and up until the last inning, they hadn't shown how good they can be at the plate.
Pitch on the way to McBride, going to be taken up top. 1 ball and no strikes. McBride tonight struck out swinging in the first and then grounded into he walked in the second. That was part of a 5-4-3 double play his next time up. That went in there for a strike, and the count runs to 1 ball and 1 strike. Appreciate everybody joining us here. Thanks to all of our sponsors as well. Thanks again to Western Iowa Networks for providing internet for us here. 1-1 pitch in there for a strike, and the count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch, chopped up the first base side, foul. Breaking ball, and got the end of the bat on that one, and just chopped it foul up the first base side, and the count will go to 1-2. Our sponsors again: Collins Aerospace, Culver's Grease Oil, Mackey Motors, Stein Seeds, Bruner, Reinhardt Morton, and Haley Equipment. They've sponsored all of the Merchant home games. There's a shot. That'll be a base hit out in the right field. With a right-handed hitter, now the right fielder bobbles it. Little couldn't come up with it, and moving down to third on the play is Cole. Mark heads up base running that time by Ethan Cole.
Yeah, he saw how much the right fielder had bobbled it and just immediately took off to third. I don't even think Ben was giving him a sign to come to third. He just took off on his own.
So Blake Tiggis now steps in. Tiggis singled in the first inning and then grounded into that 5-4-3 double play that ended the third inning. So he'll step in, pitch on the way. That's a line drive, base hit up the middle, and the Merchants answer the run by the A's in the top half of the inning with an RBI single by Blake Tiggis, his second of the night. And Carroll trails it, or leads it now by a score of 5-2.
And Blake Tiggis has kind of been that guy all year for the Merchants, especially early on in the year. He was, when they needed an RBI single, he seemed to be that guy that delivered it, and he does it again.
Royal came out, looked really sharp against that first batter, but now here Mark in the 5th. It's been a walk and now back-to-back singles, and both of them to the opposite field. Both right-handed hitters going to right field. And what I was mentioning here a moment ago is as Warheim, the second baseman with the right-handed batter up, was holding the runner out at second base. So he's shading second a little bit, and that opened up that gap. So that was a really nice job by Blake Tiggis to take that outside pitch and just hit it to where the defense wasn't playing.
And the right fielder, too, was playing a little bit deeper than maybe normal. But again, you're facing a right-handed batter, so you'd expect the ball to go to the left side, and just opened up that gap for the single.
Chris Hagee will step in. Again, goes opposite field. Flies that one out towards Little. He'll drift over to the line. He's going to make the catch. The Merchants fake like they're going to start the runner, but you get these guys at this level, Park, and their arms, especially right fielders, usually you stick a guy out in right field that's got a cannon, because you can throw guys out at third base with that, and at home, and Little that time showing that strong arm and staying at second base as McBride. One out here in the inning.
And especially for us who are used to seeing more high school arms, not that there aren't great arms in high school.
Now Cooper Pottebaum's got one.
Yeah, exactly. But we're not used to seeing that throw, so usually the runner would advance in high school. But again, like you said, these guys can't throw in this league. And
breaking ball in there for a strike to Brandenburg.
They showed it on that last throw.
Brandenburg is 0-2 tonight. Flew out to center in the first inning and then grounded out to the second baseman in the fourth inning. The 0-1 offering coming up. Runners again, first and second. One out here in the inning. And the pitch down in the dirt. Nice knockdown again by Sauger.
Kept it in front of him and didn't allow the base runner to advance.
1 ball and a 1 strike. And I guess it is getting around 8 o'clock, but it just seems like it's like maybe some clouds have kind of rolled in a little bit. It's gotten a little darker here all of a sudden.
Yeah, it seems like the level of smoke that is here has maybe lowered a couple hundred feet too.
The 1-1 pitch fouled over to the Merchants dugout. Lane Speaker picking that one up. 1 ball, 2 strikes right now on Brandenburg, who's batting number 8 for the Merchants here today. 5-2, Carroll with the lead. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Again, a 9-inning game here in the Meek League. Unless they play doubleheaders, and then you're a 7-inning game. Both games are 7 innings. Breaking ball just misses inside, and the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Although the Merchants have found a way to stretch some of those 7-inning games into 9-inning games this year.
Yep. Yeah, and the 9-inning games into 11 and 14. And fly ball, that one deep hit. That is well hit. That one is going to be off of the fence on 2 hops. 2 runs will come in to score. Nope, 1 run comes in to score. They hold up Tigas over at third. And coming in to score is now McBride. And then back in the second again is going to be Brandenburg. So Brandenburg with the RBI double. And the Merchants have extended the lead here to 6-2. For the runners now at second and third and 1 out here in the inning. And Lane Speaker will step in. So Clarinda gets 2 in the top of the inning. And now the Merchants have answered with 2 here in the bottom of the inning.
And Brandenburg almost thought he had a triple.
Yep.
And then just got stuck between the shortstop and the second base and was lucky to make it back to second base.
I think he expected Tigas to score on that, and then when he didn't and he got held up, he kind of had to stop himself coming around the bag. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses inside to Speaker, and the count 1-0. Speaker flew out to the shortstop in the second inning and then walked and scored in the 4th. And I don't know if Tigas held up thinking maybe that ball was going to get tracked down, but it didn't look like he got a very good break. There's a fly ball out to right center. This should score a run as Little drifts back, makes the catch. Everybody going to tag up and move up a base. So the lead now 7-2 in favor of the Merchants. The Speaker picking up an RBI here tonight. Coming in to score is Tigas. And the Merchants lead at 7-2 as Brandenburg moves down to third, and Michael Alt will step in. Alt tonight walked and scored in the first, flew out to left in the second, then reached on an error in the 4th inning, was eventually stranded out at second base. Pitch on the way. That one is going to be taken outside for ball 1. Merchants have gotten back to the top of the order, but they've got to really be pleased, Mark, with the production they've gotten out of the bottom, maybe third to a quarter of the lineup here today.
Yeah, especially the last few innings, just a lot of production and a lot of pressure being put on Clarinda as well.
And the A's have somebody up down in the bullpen. Can't quite read the number down there, but there is somebody in the bullpen. 3 balls and no strikes. Royals pitch is in there for a strike. And the count runs to 3-1. And like I said, I talked with Coach Berg before the game tonight. I think every team in this league right now is starting to struggle with pitching a little bit. 3-1 pitch. That's a shot out in the left field. One going to come in to score. Alt with the RBI single. And the Carroll Merchants look like a dangerous team come postseason time with the way they're playing today against the second best team in this entire league.
And not only was that a great hit, but we expect it from Alt because he's done it throughout his years, but another opposite field hit. Carroll's had a number of opposite field hits in this inning, so they're seeing something that's allowing them to go to the opposite field.
Runner down to second is Alt going to steal second. The ball goes out into center field, but not far enough that Alt can advance. 0-1 the count right now on Koski. Koski tonight is at 2 for 3. He had a 2-run home run in the first, reached on an error in the second, and then singled in the 4th. He was stranded at first in both the second and in the 4th inning. So the Merchants have another runner in scoring position right now. And the pitch on the way, and that's going to hit him. That is our first hit by pitch here tonight. It seems like between hit by pitches, walks, and wild pitches that there's been kind of an influx of those in this Mink League here over the last maybe week and a half, and that just goes again to kind of talk to you about the pitching issues in this league late in the season, and I'm guessing the league the merchants were in before they went into the Mink, it was kind of the same thing. So I'm guessing most summer leagues probably see those kind of issues.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty late. You know, a lot of these guys have been pitching since February, if not before.
Yep.
So, yeah, fatigue's going to become a factor.
We have a pitching change for the A's again. We'll step away back with Carroll Merchants baseball coming up next here on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Starting a new job or even a new career can be scary, but starting a career at Collins Aerospace is exciting and rewarding. From the clean and safe manufacturing environment to the satisfaction of knowing that your work helps keep people safe in the skies, Collins Aerospace is the opportunity you've been waiting for, offering competitive salary, amazing benefits, and sign-on bonuses. This is an exceptional opportunity to join a highly dedicated team. For more information or to apply online, visit jobs.collinsaerospace.com. Collins Aerospace, aerospace redefined.
Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with signature butter burgers made with fresh, never frozen Midwest raised beef. Pair it with Wisconsin cheese curds and made daily, fresh frozen custard. Now that's a winning combination.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Grease Oil believes in always going the extra mile for our customers. During the busiest times of the year, you never have to worry about your gas and diesel tanks going empty. Our reliable fuel delivery service will keep your operation running smoothly. Call us about your bulk, motor oil, and DEF fluid needs. Grease Oil, fueling your life one delivery at a time.
Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been serving Lake City and the surrounding communities with new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Mackey Motors is a full-service dealership providing oil changes in our Quick Lube Express bays, a service department with world-class trained technicians, a body shop and collision center with the latest equipment, a full vehicle detailing department, or come talk with one of our highly knowledgeable sales staff.
Recipient of the GM Mark of Excellence Award for 15 years running. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City and MackeyMotors.com.
Well, we have a pitching change here for Clarinda. Gundelfinger, I think, is the young man's last name, if that's correct. The numbers on the roster and the numbers on their website are different names, so it's either the Durban kid or it's Gundelfinger, so one of the two. And folks, I did go down and check with their management before the game, and they told me that was a number we wouldn't have to worry about. There's no way he would play.
And of course,
he is, because I went down there to check. 0-1 pitch, and that one was fouled back, and the count is 0-2. So I'm like, okay. So I'm wondering if maybe this is Durbandy.
right.
Because they told me the Gundelfinger wouldn't play. So I'm wondering if it is maybe the Durbandy kid. Ninth batter of the inning here for the Merchants. They put 4 runs across the board in this inning. Runners at second and third, and there is a quick strikeout. And that is going to do it for the Merchants. They'll bat 9 guys, though. They pick up 4 runs in the inning. They get those 4 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error, and they leave 2 runners left on base. Roll ahead to the top of the 6th. 8-2 Merchants with the lead. We're back right after this on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Brunner, Reinhardt, and Morton is a general practice law with over 100 years of experience providing legal services in Carroll, Glidden, Coon Rapids, and Guthrie Center communities. And they're a proud supporter of this Merchants broadcast. Go Merchants!
Culver's famous custard is made fresh throughout the day, every day. With over 30 toppings to choose from, there is something for everyone. Grab a shake, malt, concrete mixer, or sundae. Find your favorite. Check out the flavor of the day online at culvers.com.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Step up to more power and all-around capability with New Holland compact and subcompact tractors from Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City. The Workmaster Utility Series is a tough, practical workhorse providing unmatched comfort and simplicity. The Workmaster Utility Tractor, ready to complete any task with the productivity of the 12x12 powered shuttle transmission and 4-wheel drive. Stop into Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City to see how the New Holland Workmaster tractors are the best utility tractors to help you complete those tasks efficiently.
Coming to you live here from the Gatorade broadcast booth, distributed by Pepsi Beverages. Gatorade helping athletes fuel, recover, and perform. We'll head to the 6th inning. Merchants in control here with Ryan Ladner on the hill, leading at 8-2. First pitch to Barajas in their first strike, and the count is 0-1. Barajas will be followed by Nick Masserini and Joey Little.
Just a perfect answer by Carroll in the bottom of the fifth there. 4 runs. Really takes the pressure off of them after Clarinda seemed to have found their bats there in the top of the fifth.
The 0-1 taken for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty-righty matchup. There is a fly ball that should be played by McBride. He'll drift over. Alt back behind him to back him up. And there are 2 outs here in the inning. Or 1 out, I should say, here in the inning. Yep. First batter of the inning gets out. I'm trying to give the Merchants 2 outs, man. Nick Masserini will step in. He has struck out twice here today, so he'll step in there. Struck out looking in the second, struck out swinging in the 4th inning. Can't a guy try to cheat a little bit, Mark, here, you know? No? Okay. Try to give him an extra out here and there.
Has been a long summer. So.
It has. Pitch on the way. That one is pop foul back out of play. Yeah, the count is 0-1. Considering I haven't had a day off since like early to mid-March. I was kind of looking forward to that.
Can understand that.
The 0-1 pitch on the way. That one taken up top. And the count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Merchants fans not liking that call.
They like that one. They thought that one was a little bit down, but to me it looked a little high. So
for the strike zone's been out all day. Yep. Popped up. Coming over is Cole, the first baseman. He'll drift into foul territory and makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down here for the A's in the 6th.
And a few Merchants fans reminding Cole there to use 2 hands on the catch, which can't blame him after what we've seen tonight.
Yes, that would make Coach Snyder very happy.
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely. That'll bring up Joey Little, the right fielder. Little tonight is flown out to center in the 2nd and then lined out on a great catch by Tigas over on 3rd. Kind of a dying ball that was like really dropping into the dirt, and he dove and snagged it out of the dirt before it got into the dirt. 0-1 count right now. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count runs to 1-1. Again, I'll head back tonight, and when I get the official stats, I'll write up a recap story and get it on our website. There's a pitch fouled back, and the count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Appreciate Coach Berg sending out those results at night. It's kind of fun. Yeah, kind of fun calling him Coach Berg now. That one fouled back. When you cover a kid and then he comes back and coaches in your area, I've had that with several of our area athletes over the years. It's always kind of fun. You get to know them. You already know them, but you get to know them in a completely different role. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. 2 out, nobody on. Chopper over to 3rd. Tigas will backhand. And there's that strong arm at a 1-2-3 inning here for the A's in the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Bottom of the 6th, there's 1 minute away. Merchants in cruise control, up 8-2.
Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been serving Lake City and the surrounding communities with new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Mackey Motors is a full-service dealership providing oil changes in our Quick Lube Express bays, a service department with world-class trained technicians, a body shop and collision center with the latest equipment, a full vehicle detailing department, or come talk with one of our highly knowledgeable sales staff.
Recipient of the GM Mark of Excellence Award for 15 years running. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City and MackeyMotors.com.
Get more with Stein. When it comes to soybean breeding, more generations equals additional yield. 2.2% more yield per generation. By introducing more new genetics faster than any other seed company, Stein delivers on the Stein has yield promise. For elite genetics paired with simple, flexible, and effective weed control, plant Stein Enlist E3 soybeans. Stein has yield. Yield plus advantage. Learn more at steinseed.com.
Coming to you live here again from the Gatorade broadcast booth, distributed by Pepsi Beverages. Gatorade helping athletes fuel, recover, and perform. Jeff Blankman with you here, along with Mark Schaefer. First time on the headsets for Mark, so appreciate him joining us here tonight.
Good to be here. So
yeah. Worked with you in this area now for how many years? How many years you been in
7
Carroll?
years.
7 years now? Man, getting to be an old man.
A little bit, yeah. Well,
I still got you by 20 years, so.
Well, I will remind you that the year that you graduated was the year I was born. So, graduated high school, I should say. So.
Yeah, that just tells you how young you are, or how old I am. Ethan Cole, Colin McBride, and Blake Tiggis. The first one is swung on and missed, and we've got a new batter here, and you've got the roster over there. So who is number 40 for the Merchants?
That would be Noah Dutler.
Noah Dutler in. So Dutler comes in to bat here. Sorry, folks. Somebody took the roster that I had earlier, so I have to ask Mark for those things. There is a pop foul back, and the count runs to 1-2 now on Dutler.
And believe it or not, the roster thief wasn't Jeff Honnold, which surprises me, sir.
Yeah, he thieves most everything else from me. But 1 ball, 2 pitch strike. Misses downstairs. And the count now 2-2 on Dutler. First plate appearance for Dutler here tonight, but he's done a nice job. Got a good start for them on the hill. I think it was against St. Joe the other night, if I remember correctly. Went 6 strong innings in that game. Pitch on the way. There's a foul ball. That one up the first base side. That one's going to drop out there, and the count is at 2-2. Honnold's getting ready to throw things again. I'm not worried about him hitting me. That I'm never concerned about.
Well, I think I'll duck if he aims at you, because, if it comes up this way, it's
I'm just afraid he's going to hit the camera system here and break it. That one popped up on the infield. Coming in is going to be the second baseman. He will make the catch. That is Orheim, of course. And there is a 1 out here in the inning. So, yeah, he never hits what he throws at. So if he aims at you, he'll hit either the camera or me. We'll pick it on him when he's not got a headset on because he can't defend himself.
Exactly.
Jeff's been a good friend and has helped us on the radio and with our video broadcast for a long, long time. And anybody that's been listening to the Merchants over the years has heard Jeff. He was the voice of the Merchants for about the last 3 years. Decided this year that he wanted to give that up. Pitch on the way in there for a strike, and the count is 0-1-1 on McBride. McBride struck out swinging in the first, walked in the third, and was part of a 5-4-3 double play. Singled and scored in a 4-run fifth inning for the Merchants. A 1 pitch on the way. That one is taken low and away, and the count runs to 1 ball and 1 strike. Merchants again have the day off tomorrow, then start a road trip where they'll have games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then off Friday and Saturday before they wrap up the season at home with St. Joe next Sunday. Chopper foul, and they count 1 ball now and 2 strikes. 8-2 Merchants with the lead. Carroll got 3 in the first, and then 1 in the fourth, and 4 in the fifth. Clarinda got both of theirs in the second. Merchants went with Ladner the whole way. There's another little one off the end of the mat, drifting over and making the catches. Masserini, the center fielder. And there are 2 outs here in inning for Clarinda. They're on their 3rd pitcher here today, Wallace, then Royal. And I'm assuming this guy is Dermody, but we don't know for sure. And that'll bring up, I should say, Mr. Blake Tiggis. Tiggis tonight's had a really good night with the plate and with the bat at the plate, I should say. Starting to get a little tired here, folks. Sorry.
And he's had a good defensive night as well.
Yes, he has. Yeah, if we were giving away a player of the game, he'd certainly be a candidate for that.
Sure.
Pitch on the way. There's a check swing, and they count 1-1. He singled in the first, then grounded into that 5-4-3 double play in the third, and then single driving in a run and scoring in the fifth. Pitch on the way up top. And they count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, he's had a really good night defensively. He's made several really, really good plays over at third.
Even one play that he didn't mean to with Hopper.
There's a swing and a miss on an outside breaking ball, and that'll even the count here. Actually, no, that's going to be strike 3. All right, so the swing and miss will strike him out. So the Merchants go in order here in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We've got the 7th inning coming up. 8-2 Merchants with the lead. Back right after this on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Brunner, Reinhardt, and Morton is a general practice law with over 100 years of experience providing legal services in Carroll, Glidden, Coon Rapids, and Guthrie Center communities. And they're a proud supporter of this Merchants broadcast. Go Merchants!
Culver's famous custard is made fresh throughout the day, every day, With over 30 toppings to choose from, there is something for everyone. Grab a shake, malt, concrete mixer, or sundae. Find your favorite. Check out the flavor today online at culvers.com.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Step up to more power and all-around capability with New Holland compact and subcompact tractors from Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City. The Workmaster Utility Series is a tough, practical workhorse providing unmatched comfort and simplicity. The Workmaster Utility Tractor, ready to complete any task with the productivity of the 12x12 powered shuttle transmission and four-wheel drive. Stop into Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City to see how the New Holland Workmaster tractors are the best utility tractors to help you complete those tasks efficiently.
That's capable.
Welcome you back here into a beautiful and historic Merchants Park, again built in at 1949. We head to the 7th inning here. Julian Sauger, also Cord Dobrinski, and Luke Stout. So 7, 8, 9 due up. For the A's, they trail it here 8-2. First pitch on the way in there for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Sauger tonight is singled twice, once in the 2nd inning, once in the 5th inning. He has scored the first run of the game for the A's. There is a pop-up foul back out of play, and the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. I've been impressed with Ladner here tonight, what he's been able to do out on the hill.
Yeah, well, like I was kind of saying before we came back from break, Clarinda is still a good hitting team, as we see a single here. And so for him to be able to kind of quiet their bats, they did have that 5th inning where they got the bats going, but to be able to quiet the bats for most of the game has been very impressive.
Yeah, that was one that was an inside pitch, and he got it right off of the fist, but had just enough power to get it over the shortstop Yasko's head out into shallow left field. And that'll bring up now Cord Dobrinski. Dobrinski walked in the 2nd inning, was stranded at first, then had an RBI single and scored on a balk back in the 5th inning. He'll take the first pitch for ball 1. We're here in the 7th inning, 8-2 Merchants again with the lead. I want to thank Western Iowa Networks again for supplying our Wi-Fi and our internet access here. There's a chopper on the infield. This is going to be tough to turn to. The only play is to first. Nice play by Yasko to get him over at first, and Dobrinski really hustling down the line. I was a little nervous that the way he stepped on the bag that he could end up injured there, but he is going to be fine. That ground out will move Sauger up to second base. There's one out here in the inning, and Luke Stott will step in. Stott tonight flew out to left in the 2nd and flew out to left again in the 3rd inning, or the 5th inning, excuse me. So Stout will step in 0 for 2 here tonight.
And because he has flown out to left, you see Speaker kind of cheating in a little bit just to be in position in case it does come back towards him.
He bunts that one up into the air. Brandenburg going to run up the 3rd base line. The catcher will make the catch in fair territory. And there are 2 outs now here in the inning, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Gavin Long. Long tonight flew out to the 2nd baseman in the 1st, and flew out to the center fielder in the 3rd, and had an RBI single in the 5th inning. And this is going to be the 4th time through the lineup for the A's here tonight against Ladner. I don't see anybody up in the bullpen down there, but the bullpen, of course, has got a lot of guys down there. So Long steps in, 2 out, runner at 2nd. And the pitch on the way. Breaking ball catches the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. And right now, with the way Ladner's throwing, I just stick with him, and especially with his lead, you try to save some of your other guys if you can.
Yeah, I mean, like we've been talking about all game, this is the time of year when pitchers start to get fatigued. So if you can go with one guy majority of the game, with an off day tomorrow, then that's even better.
0-1 pitch missed outside. Count runs to 1-1. I think for the Merchants, the big thing could be having Friday, Saturday off next week if nothing gets rained out, where they can get 2 days of rest going into that Sunday game, which could be what determines if they make the postseason or not.
Exactly.
There's a shot. That one out towards right, giving chase is McBride. He'll make the catch. And that is going to be the final out. A hard shot down the line, but McBride read it well and got over to make the play. No runs on 1 hit. There was no errors and 1 left on for the A's in the 7th. Merchants lead at 8-2. We've got the bottom half of the 7th coming up right after this on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been serving Lake City and the surrounding communities with new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Mackey Motors is a full-service dealership providing oil changes in our Quick Lube Express bays, a service department with world-class trained technicians, a body shop and collision center with the latest equipment, a full vehicle detailing department, or come talk with one of our highly knowledgeable sales staff.
Recipient of the GM Mark of Excellence Award for 15 years running. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City and MackeyMotors.com.
Get more with Stein. When it comes to soybean breeding, more generations equals additional yield. 2.2% more yield per generation. By introducing more new genetics faster than any other seed company, Stein delivers on the Stein has yield promise. For elite genetics paired with simple, flexible, and effective weed control, plant Stein Enlist E3 soybeans. Stein has yield. Yield plus advantage. Learn more at steinseed.com.
Well, the Merchants crowd singing a little Take Me Out to the Ball Game here. A little bit of a slow start. They were behind, I think, for a little while, but got themselves caught up and closed well, which is what the Carroll Merchants are trying to do here today as they lead this one 8-2. Merchants have out-hit Clarinda 8-6. The big difference in this game has been the 3 years by Clarinda here today, and the walks. They've really walked quite a few guys here today compared to what you've gotten out of Ladner. Ladner has really done a nice job here tonight. One walk for him, while the A's pitchers have combined to walk 5 so far here in the game.
Yeah, and it started there in that first inning when Michael was able to reach the very first batter on almost 4 straight pitches, I want to say. So
that'll bring up Chris Hagee, Jordan Brandenburg, and Lane Speaker. And the first pitch on the way, taken outside for ball 1. Hagee tonight has a sac fly out to right field, scoring a run in the first, and flew out to the second baseman in the fourth, and flew out to the right fielder in the 5th inning. So he'll step back in. Lefty on the hill right now. Pitch on the way. Call the strike on the outside corner, and the count runs to 1-1. 350 the paid attendance here tonight, so surprised in a way. It's a Saturday night, second to the last game of the home, the home season, and probably the smallest crowd that we've had at a Merchants game so far this year.
Definitely the smallest that I've seen out of all the Merchants games that I've been to this year.
2-1 pitch on the way in there for a strike, and the count goes to 2-2 now on Hagee. 7-8-9 again due out for the Merchants. Hagee followed by Brandenburg and Speaker. So this will be our final broadcast till next Sunday. There is strike 3 called. So Dermody going to pick up the strikeout, just the third of the night here for A's pitching. That'll be the first out here in the inning. That's going to bring up Brandenburg. Brandenburg flew out to center in the first, grounded out to the third baseman in the fourth, and then it doubled, driving in a run in the fifth, eventually coming in to score the fourth run of that inning for the Merchants. When, in a way, Mark, I know we're still not over yet, but if you can say that the Merchants started to put this game away, they separated at least with that 4-run inning.
Yeah, and that was a big answer inning because Clarinda had put their first 2 bats on the board, or the first 2 runs on the board.
Chopper out to short, scooping that one up is Palmelia, and he'll make the throw over to first in time. 2 up and 2 down for the Merchants, and that'll bring up Lane Speaker. Speaker tonight flew out to the shortstop in the second inning, walked and scored in the fourth, and had a sac fly out to right field in the 5th inning. So he's got an RBI and a run scored coming in here tonight. Batting average probably not where he'd wanted, but he's contributed to this team in a lot of other ways. That pitch misses inside, and the count 1-0. You look at his RBI, run scored numbers, his stolen base numbers, and what he's done defensively. I know in talking to him that I think he'd probably like to be hitting up in the 300s, but, he still has been able to get on base and contribute offensively.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this isn't high school ball, and he was a very proficient hitter in high school, but
there's a swing and a miss, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He's still very dangerous once he does get on the bases for Carroll.
Second year in the Mink League for the Merchants. Last year just missing out on the playoffs. If I remember right, they lost their last 2 games that knocked them out of the playoffs. There's a pop fly out towards right field. Little will drift over. It's going to stay in fair territory. He'll make the catch, and the Merchants go 1-2-3 here in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We have an 8th inning. It's coming up right after this on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel. Carroll Merchants leading the Clarinda A's 8-2.
Starting a new job or even a new career can be scary, but starting a career at Collins Aerospace is exciting and rewarding. From the clean and safe manufacturing environment to the satisfaction of knowing that your work helps keep people safe in the skies, Collins Aerospace is the opportunity you've been waiting for, offering competitive salary, amazing benefits, and sign-on bonuses. This is an exceptional opportunity to join a highly dedicated team. For more information or to apply online, visit jobs.collinsaerospace.com. Collins Aerospace, aerospace redefined.
Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with signature butter burgers made with fresh, never frozen Midwest raised beef. Pair it with Wisconsin cheese curds and made daily, fresh frozen custard. Now that's a winning combination.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Grease Oil believes in always going the extra mile for our customers. During the busiest times of the year, you never have to worry about your gas and diesel tanks going empty. Our reliable fuel delivery service will keep your operation running smoothly. Call us about your bulk, motor oil, and DEF fluid needs. Grease Oil, fueling your life one delivery at a time.
The song that everybody plays at sporting events now, Neil Diamond and Sweet Caroline. Trying to figure out exactly when that started. I was telling Mark when I was younger, it was always Queen and stuff that got played at games, and it's been, maybe the last 5-6 years or so that you can't seem to go to a college, high school, or professional sporting event anymore without hearing, Sweet Caroline and Neil Diamond being played. But I kind of joked to Mark, I'm like, did the Boston Red Sox, because they've always done this, did the Boston Red Sox finally winning some World Series, is that what popularized this song at sporting events? Because now everybody does it.
I think so. Well, especially in Iowa.
Because I know Iowa State does it, yeah.
Because honestly, the first time that I ever heard the song was after Iowa State would win when I was going to school there. So, yeah.
Cole Wolheim, Anthony Palmilia, and Junior Barras are the scheduled hitters. We've got a new pitcher, Austin Knoll, out on the hill. And the first pitch to Wolheim taken up top for ball one.
Knoll has an 0-1 record so far. A 1-2 record. You can't read stats right now, but on the year. In 16 innings pitched, he's given up 13 hits, 9 runs, 6 of those were earned, and he has struck out 18 batters.
All right, 1-1 the count right now on Wolheim. Knoll out of the line, breaking ball in there for a strike. So Ladner goes 7 innings tonight, gives up 6 hits. Also gave up 2 runs, both were earned. He struck out 3, walked 1. So a good night for Ryan Ladner. I'm sure Coach Berg will be happy about that. Breaking ball swung on and missed. A strikeout from Knoll for the first out here in the inning. And that is the 4th strikeout for Merchant pitching here tonight. That'll bring up Anthony Palmilia. Palmilia here tonight. It's flown out to right. Hit into a 5-6-3 double play. Actually, it wasn't a double play. It was a 1 out. That was the one that hit off of Tigas at third and then got over to Yasko at short, and he threw him out and then grounded out to the second baseman in the 5th inning. So he's had 3 ground outs here tonight. And the pitch on the way. A fastball just misses the outside corner, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Merchants 5 outs away here from maybe jumping up into 3rd place all by themselves here tonight, Mark.
Yeah, a very important game if they can't hold on to win because, like you said, the Mudcats do have the night off, and that's kind of who they're chasing in the standings right now. I think, like you said earlier, they are ahead of them, but the Mudcats aren't playing tonight.
Yeah, so that would actually move them just a half game. With Chillicothe having the night off, they'd go a half game up on them in the race for 3rd place. Nobody's going to catch Clarinda for 2nd or St. Joe for 1st. Those two locked into those two. And the way the playoffs work, your 2nd place team plays your 3rd place team at the 2nd place team. So Clarinda would host either Chillicothe or Carroll. And then the winner of that game would go and play a 1-game series at St. Joe. And then the winner of that advances into the finals. And stuff. So that's kind of how things are set up. So the Merchants chasing that 3rd seed, that number 3 spot here in the conference. 3-1 pitch on the way up top for ball 4. So you get the strikeout, and then you come back with a walk. one out runner at first. And Junior Barajas will step to the plate. Barajas tonight has singled in the second inning, was stranded at third, and then he has flown out to right in both the fourth and in the sixth inning. The lefty will step in.
And I believe St. Joe actually won the Mink League last year.
They did.
So.
Yeah, and I think Clarinda didn't get into the finals because they had to go through St. Joe. But if I remember right, it was those two that had the best record in the league again. Yep. That pitch is going to hit him, and it got him on the back foot. And that one probably didn't feel very good, but he's going to limp his way down to first base. First hit by pitch for Merchant pitching here tonight.
And like you said, a very awkward place to kind of hit him. It didn't hit him on the outside foot, but traveled inside and then just got him, I think, almost on the ankle area.
Yep.
So.
Yep, and he's trying to flex that thing out. Yep. I'm hoping it caught him on the foot part more, because even though that hurts, it hurts a lot less if it catches you on that ankle bone.
Yeah.
He says that he's all right, so they're going to get back to action here. Nick Masserini will step in. He struck out looking in the second, struck out swinging in the fourth, and then popped up in foul territory to Cole over at first base. Back in the sixth inning, so he's looking for his first hit of the night. Again, Ben Berg will come up for post-game interviews here tonight. Pitch on the way down in the dirt. And they count 1 ball and no strikes. Again, the Merchants off tomorrow and then head to St. Joe for games Monday and Tuesday, then to Nevada for Wednesday and Thursday. The good thing about the Nevada games, Mark, is they should be able to come back, Wednesday night and then travel over on Thursday and then come back again Thursday night as a 1-0 pitch misses. But you get a sleep in what's been your home for the summer.
Yep.
And so they should be rested. And then you get Friday and Saturday off again to take on St. Joe.
Yeah. I think they actually play Joplin on Monday.
That's right, Joplin. Yep.
So that's the long trip.
Yes. Sorry. Yep. 2-0 pitch up top. Count runs to 3-0. So yeah, down to Joplin for Monday, Tuesday. Thank you for that.
Yep.
And then you look at their schedule and then you look at Chillicothe's schedule, and I think that the edge goes to Carroll.
Right.
And this would be a big win for them here, because this was a game, even though it's at home. With where Clarinda's at in the standings, you would have maybe thought Clarinda comes in and gets the win. But so this is going to be a big one if they can hold on here, and they're 5 outs away from getting that victory. But runners now at first and second, 8-2 lead. We're in the top half of the 8th inning. Brandon Burke goes out to talk to Noel, our new pitcher. The count is 3-0 on Masserini. Joey Little, the right fielder, is waiting on deck. Pitch on the way in there for a strike. And right now, if you're the Merchants, a run or two scores, you're not going to worry about that. The guy you're really focused on is just getting it out. So that means if it's a ground ball over to third, Tigas can feel that he can step on the bag, but you just want to get an out.
Exactly.
You're not worried if a run or two scores here because you've got a little cushion. 3-2 pitch misses low and away. There is ball 4, and now the bases are loaded. And that's going to bring up Joey Little. And these are college guys, but you still wonder. There have been bullpen issues. There have been late game issues. Does that start creeping into the mindset of these guys if Clarinda starts collecting some hits and scoring here in this 8th inning?
And, like you just said, you don't, even with the bases loaded, you don't necessarily worry about a run or two right now, but you just don't want that to balloon into even more runs.
Yeah, you want to get out simply because you don't want to. If you give up 2 runs, you're fine. You don't want to balloon it into a 4 or a 5-run inning where all of a sudden it's a close game going into the bottom half of the 8th or even into the 9th.
And especially, like you said, with pitching kind of being limited.
There's a pop-up. That one's going to drift out into shallow left field. Yasko will call everybody off. He'll make the catch. And that is going to be the second out. So that's a huge out, Mark, simply because now I had noticed Dutler, who is in now over at first base, had scooted in and was playing in on the grass to maybe throw out a runner at the plate if it came to him. Now everybody can go back and play, and you got the force out at every base, and everybody can play normal depth now that there are 2 outs because all you need is 1 out to get out of trouble.
Yep.
And if you're Clarinda, I know you're guaranteed right now getting your top part of the order back up in the 8th inning, or in the 9th inning, is that pitch in there for a strike, depending on how Sauger does at the plate. But you'd have 8-9-1 if you don't get a hit. But if you can get a few runs in this inning, that's going to be huge. If you don't score, all of a sudden the doubt starts to creep into your mind a little bit going into that 9th inning.
Yeah, because especially if you're Clarinda, the Carroll pitching has kind of kept you in check for most of the game, so you kind of have those doubts going into the 8th and 9th inning on if they can get those hits even with the top of the order coming up.
1-1 pitch from Noel down in the dirt. Brandenburg's doing a very nice job back behind the plate tonight, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Amelia over at first after walking. Barajas was hit by pitch. He's at second. Massarini over at first after walking. So you got walk, hit by pitch, and walk out on the base pass right now. 2-1 pitch on the way up top. And it's now 3 balls and 1 strike. Mark, I see a catcher down there. I do see somebody warming up, but with that light pole down there, I cannot see a number at all. I don't know if you've got a better angle than I do.
I think it just caught, I'm going to get the last name wrong, but
Zwicky. Zach Zwicky, yep. 3-1 pitch in there for a strike. That'll run the count to 3-2. So now with 2 outs, I'm assuming the A's are going to have everybody running and moving here with a 3-2 pitch. If you're that poor guy over at third base in Amelia, you're going to be swinging wide because the last thing you want to do is take a line drive. And that one is fouled. Drifting down the line, third, McBride dives and almost come up with it. That's why I was kind of delaying on my call. I knew I was going to be fouled down the line, but McBride was on the horse and moves pretty quickly out there, and I knew he was going to have a shot, but what a heck of an effort by Cullen McBride.
Yeah, and like you said, he probably had to run probably about 50 yards just to get in position to make a play, and by the time he got there, the only play he could make was a diving catch, and it just fell behind him, it looked like.
You know, you said he just ran 50 yards. If you and I had done that, we'd have cleared 10 yards in the same amount of time. He cleared 50.
The ball would have landed and bounced over to the fence by the time I even got to the foul line.
Yeah. 3-2 pitch again. Noel out of the stretch, comes to the plate and misses wide for ball 4. So an RBI for Sauger. As Amelia will come in to score. Barajas down to third, and Massarini up to second.
And you could tell as soon as Noel let go of that ball, he wanted it back and knew that it was just outside. So he needs to just forget about that pitch and come back and get this next batter.
First pitch in there to Dobrinsky in there for a strike. The count is 0-1. Dobrinsky has walked once, single driving and a run and scoring, and then grounded out to short. 2 out, top of the 8th, 8-3 our score. Pitch on the way, and that one a breaking ball started at him, and it breaks and just misses the inside corner. And they count 1-1. And I always love how you hear when you, especially late in games, the oohs and the ahs coming from the crowd on pitches that are close. We have a really good viewpoint from where we're at. There's another breaking ball that started at him and misses inside. And they count 2-1. Mike, I've always said that the umpire has a better view than we do, and so does the catcher. But I don't know if there's anybody else that has a better view than from where we sit, besides maybe the PA guy who's a little higher than we are.
Yeah, I mean, here at Merchants Park, our view right now, like you said, only the catcher and the umpire have a better view.
That one close, but I don't think that pitch above the belt's been called all day.
Not tonight.
Yeah, so 3-1 the count. Base is still loaded with A's. And a base hit here could score 2. That one up top for ball 4. And all of a sudden now, if you're Ben Berg, what do? You've struggled with the bullpen here down the stretch of the season, as pretty much everybody. I'm not picking on the Merchants bullpen at all, Mark, because everybody, I write the story for the Merchants game, so do you. We see this. We see that every team in the league struggling right now to get guys out late in games because of, the pitching issues all around the league, and that's, I'm guessing that it's a summer league issue. As you get deep into the season. It's no different than anybody else. Coach Burke coming out, but all of a sudden you got an 8-4 ball game. Now, yes, there's 2 outs. There's still bases loaded. You got the number 9 guy in the lineup coming up in Stout, and he's 0-3 tonight, but he picks up a base hit here. All of a sudden you got an 8-6 ball game.
Yeah, exactly. And
things get interesting.
That's what I was just thinking. 1 run doesn't hurt them, but that was 1 run ago.
Yep.
So you still need that out, but now you do have to watch out. If Clarinda gets hot from the bats, then this could get interesting very quick.
And that's why that pop-up of Little to the shortstop was really, really critical in that situation, because it kind of broke it up. You've had a strikeout, then a walk, then a hit by pitch, then a walk, then a pop up to the shortstop, and then back-to-back walks. So Noel has come in, and he has walked 4 already here in this inning, and he's given up 2 earned runs in this inning. So Stout has flown out to left all 3 times that he's been at the plate tonight. 2nd, 5th, and 7th inning. He'll take that first pitch in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. And having a catcher as your manager, probably walked out there and knew what to say in that situation, did Ben Berg. Pitch on the way, just misses. That one had to have been high, because it definitely was across the plate, and the count 1-1 strike. Again, the Merchants with 2 outs, able to play back. There's a chopper over to Duttler at first. He'll scoop and steps on the bag. So the Merchants out of trouble here. Still in control, but the game has gotten a little more interesting. 2 runs, no hits, no errors, and 3 guys left on base. We'll head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. We'll see if the Merchants have an answer again. They lead at 8-4. Back right after this on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Starting a new job or even a new career can be scary, but starting a career at Collins Aerospace is exciting and rewarding. From the clean and safe manufacturing environment to the satisfaction of knowing that your work helps keep people safe in the skies, Collins Aerospace is the opportunity you've been waiting for, offering competitive salary, amazing benefits, and sign-on bonuses. This is an exceptional opportunity to join a highly dedicated team. For more information or to apply online, visit jobs.collinsaerospace.com. Collins Aerospace, aerospace redefined.
Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with signature butter burgers made with fresh, never frozen Midwest raised beef. Pair it with Wisconsin cheese curds and made daily, fresh frozen custard. Now that's a winning combination.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Grease Oil believes in always going the extra mile for our customers. During the busiest times of the year, you never have to worry about your gas and diesel tanks going empty. Our reliable fuel delivery service will keep your operation running smoothly. Call us about your bulk motor oil and DEF fluid needs. Grease Oil, fueling your life one delivery at a time.
Welcome back out here to historic Merchants Park, built again in 1949. We come to you live here from the Gatorade broadcast booth, distributed by Pepsi Beverages. Gatorade helping athletes fuel, recover, and perform. Jeff Blankman and Mark Schaefer with you here today on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel, or Carroll Broadcasting is the company, of course, that owns our CB Sports Network. It's KCIM, KKRL, and Kick 106.7. We rebranded our sports department about a year and a half ago now as the CB Sports Network. So our website is sports.1380kcim.com, and all of our social media stuff, whether it be Instagram or YouTube or Twitter or I don't know, Facebook, I guess, is all CB Sports Network. Where there's so much social media out there anymore, I have a hard time sometimes remembering all the different ones. We do have a pitching change here, Mark. If you can look up number 15 for Clarinda, we do have a new pitcher on the hill here going into the 9th inning.
Looks like it is Josiah Young.
Josiah Young is our new pitcher.
And looks like we'll have a new batter for Kemper, too. Looks like Kyle Berg is warming up. Not sure if he'll be the first or second batter, but... Okay, I'm surprised only for this, because it would be the top of the order coming up here with Michael Alt. So Berg going to hit for Alt as we head here to the bottom of the 8th inning. I mean, it makes sense. Bergie can swing the bat pretty well. Yeah. And he's had some nice offensive games for them here lately. So Berg will step in. Top of the order due up here for the Merchants. The lefty Kyle will step in. He has 11 hits this year, all of them singles so far.
That pitch going to be taken downstairs for ball 1.
With 4 RBI. And he is hitting 440 on the year.
1-0 pitch. There's a shot. That one could be a double for him as it's into the gap. He's got really good speed. He'll dig around first, and he's going to head in with the double. So just as Mark says, he's had just a 1-base hit. He looks up at you and says, I'll beat that, and he gets the double. I should say all singles is what you said he had. Yeah. And that's going to bring up now Joshua Koski. And what an addition here in the last week or two to this team this young man's had. 2-run home run in the first, reached on an error in the second, singled in the fourth, and then hit by a pitch in the fifth. So can't do much better than 1,000 for your on-base percentage. There's a chopper diving and knocking it down. It's going to be Warheim, and he's going to continue it. I'm going to give an infield single on that, as moving down to third on the play is going to be Berg. And that'll bring up Bryce Yasko now.
And again, this is the start that you want from the Merchants.
Yep.
Not that they were really in danger after that, top of the 8th inning, but still, just putting pressure on Clarinda is huge.
Yasko will step in. And the pitch on the way, breaking ball in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. Yasko tonight has walked and scored in the first, flew out to right in the second, and then grounded out to the pitcher in the fourth and struck out swinging in the fifth. So this is a big situation here. Throw over to first, back in it safely is going to be Koski. Merchants would like to get an insurance run, maybe 2 here if they can, in this 8th inning. They are 3 outs away from picking up a win that would put them a half game up in that race for third. Runner goes. Fly ball out towards deep right field, drifting back, making the catch. The runner will tag the throw over to first, is offline, so Koski able to get back in. Berg will come in to score. And a sac fly from Yasko to score the run. He'll pick up an RBI. And that is the first out here in the inning, and it's going to bring up now Noah Duttler. So Duttler popped up to the second baseman in his other at-bat here tonight, that coming back in the 6th inning. And that'll be the first run given up here tonight for Young. So that lead-off double comes in big. Merchants now up 9-4, breaking ball low and away to Duttler, and they count 1 ball and no strikes. I know Coach Berg coming up for postgame. Don't know if he'll bring any players up with him tonight or not. Had about a 5-minute conversation with them guys as they were finishing up batting practice earlier today. 1-0 pitch up top, and they count 2-0. I teased him about how old I'm getting because I told him, you guys are playing the music so loud, I can't even hear myself think sitting up there in the broadcast area. Said I know I'm old when I think the music's way too loud. 2-0 pitch up top, and the count runs to 3-0. It's that one speaker. The one that sits right here in front of us, that all it does, it points right into the press box, which is like the worst thing that they could have ever done. 3-0 pitch on the way, and that one in there for strike 1. They need to move that one or just take that one out because it really doesn't feed to anybody except for us, and we don't need it. Neither does the guy up and doing the PA.
Exactly.
3-1 pitch on the way. Well, that one in there for strike 2, and the count runs to 3-2. I'm going to harp on that until somebody actually takes it down. I literally have games where I can't hear myself. 3-2 pitch, popped up. That one down the first base side, given chase is going to be the right fielder Little. He'll make the catch in foul territory. Thinking about tagging up was Koski, but he'll stay where he's at, and there are now 2 outs here in the inning. And I've been really impressed with the outfielders today and the range and the balls that they're getting to.
Yeah, we talked about Speaker earlier in the game, but even in Clarinda, they've had a lot of hustle in their plays. And,
yep. That'll bring up Colin McBride. So nope, we've got a new batter, number 24 for the Merchants.
That is Archer Ogborn.
All right, so Archer Ogborn comes in to hit here in the 8th. Archer fairly new to the team. I think he's come in here in the last couple of weeks. So Ogborn will step in, takes the first pitch up top. Merchants again got 3 in the first, 1 in the fourth. The big inning was that 4-run 5th inning. That answered a 2-run top of the 5th for Clarinda. A's then got 2 more in the 8th. Merchants have come back with a 1 here in the bottom half of the 8th. They'll lead it to 9-4. 1-0 pitch misses, and the count runs to 2-0. 1 on with 2 outs here in this bottom half of the 8th inning. For Clarinda, they will have, looks like 1, 2, 3 due up. That pitch misses, and the count runs to 3-0. So they'll have the top of their order due up in the 9th inning. We saw Austin Knoll throw the last inning. Now, the Merchants did have another guy up in the bullpen here a little bit ago. We'll see if they stay with Knoll. There's a pitch in there for a strike, and the count runs to 3-1. And thanks to Western Iowa Network supplying the internet for us to be able to bring you all of these Merchants broadcasts. Again, Mason Nealon covered almost all of them. I think I helped out a couple of times this year. I know Doug Waniger and Jeff Honnold have done a little color and commentating for him and stuff. It's hard sitting up here by yourself doing 9-inning game or even sometimes those extra inning games. Or the poor kids got stuck doing some of those doubleheader 7-inning games, so he's had to call 14 innings. So we appreciate everything Mason has done for us. Runner goes. There's a chopper over towards the hole. Coming in and unable to scoop it is going to be Amelia, the shortstop. So another error here today for Clarinda. That's going to be their fourth of the ballgame. And the runner's now at first and second, and Blake Tigas steps to the plate. It's a tough day, kind of all around if you're a Clarinda fan for today.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with how they are defensively, but 4 errors is what you think a lot of teams, and they just haven't looked as sharp on either end of the ball tonight.
First pitch misses to Tigas. Tigas tonight, again, singled in the first inning. Grounded into a 5-4-3 out double play in the third inning. Then a single driving in, run and scoring in the fifth. Struck out swinging his last time up in the sixth. They'll take that one inside, and the count runs to 2-0. I'm sure if you're the Merchants right now, you'd take another insurance run or two here.
Yeah.
Two-0 pitch coming up. It is on the way. That one outside, and the count runs to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. You know, I just got to thinking, I haven't seen Kara Peter out here today. I'm sure she's around somewhere. 3-0 pitch coming up. That one in there for a strike, and the count runs to 3-1. Congratulations to her sister Casey. We named her our softball player of the year for the area schools, and Cal Hayden from down in Coon Rapids, he was our baseball player of the year. Pop up down the first base side, giving chase again, and nobody going to be able to get to that one. Heading out there was Dobrinski, the first base, also Little, the right fielder, but neither one of those guys able to track that one down, and the count runs full. So the Merchants will be able to send both runners here. And again, even though they don't have any outs up on the board, there are 2 outs right now here in the inning. So Tigas will step back in. 3-2 pitch coming up. Runners go, and there is ball 4. Walk number 6 tonight for Clarinda pitching. And that will reload the bases. And the batter is going to be Chris Hagee. So Hagee had a sac fly driving in a run, flew out to right field back in the first inning, popped up to the second baseman in the fourth inning, flew out to right field in the fifth inning, and then struck out looking in the seventh inning.
And again, we've talked about the fatigue in pitching, and like you said, a number of Merchant batters have walked tonight. Trying to look at the numbers real quick.
They've been good at that, I think, all season long.
Clarinda came into the game with 173 walks thrown,
so they've walked guys. Yeah, they've walked guys all season. They just, as the second best record in the league, they've been able to get out of it. But when you have 4 errors on top of all the walks, it all kind of collides on you, and it causes you to kind of get dominated a little bit here tonight, because it feels like the Merchants have just been absolutely in control of this game since about the second inning.
Yeah.
Pitch on the way in there for a strike. You know, even though they got 3 in the bottom of the first, I thought when they came back out in the second inning and Clarinda stranded the bases loaded, it gave Carroll all of the momentum, and you just felt like from there on they've been in control.
Yeah, and you have to credit Ladner a lot for just pitching well and really keeping Clarinda off balance.
1 ball, 1 strike to count right now. The 1-1 pitch on the way. That one is up top. 2 balls and 1 strike. And as we get later into this one, the cowbells get louder. 2-1 pitch, pop foul back out of play. And the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Crowd reacting like that may have hit a car. So
I thought I heard a thump.
That's what I thought too.
With where that one was going, man, you'd have had to have been in a different parking spot than to get hit. But there's a chopper foul. but somebody could have parked just over the fence here, kind of in that the handicapped area,
right.
And stuff. And if you were in that area, then you might have been in some danger there.
Yeah.
I wonder if that pickup parked all the way out there by in between the aquatic center and the softball field, if they're trying to watch this game from out there. Chopper over to third, making the play, and the throw over to first in time is going to be Stout. And that will be the final out for the Merchants here in this 8th inning. But the Merchants add a run. They got the leadoff double from Kyle Berg, and then he scores on a sac fly from Bryce Yasko. 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 error, and they leave 3 runners left on base. Through 8 complete, 9-4 Merchants. Back in a minute here on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Starting a new job or even a new career can be scary, but starting a career at Collins Aerospace is exciting and rewarding. From the clean and safe manufacturing environment to the satisfaction of knowing that your work helps keep people safe in the skies, Collins Aerospace is the opportunity you've been waiting for, offering competitive salary, amazing benefits, and sign-on bonuses. This is an exceptional opportunity to join a highly dedicated team. For more information or to apply online, visit jobs.collinsaerospace.com. Collins Aerospace, aerospace redefined.
Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with signature butter burgers made with fresh, never frozen Midwest raised beef. Pair it with Wisconsin cheese curds and made daily, fresh frozen custard. Now that's a winning combination.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Grease Oil believes in always going the extra mile for our customers. During the busiest times of the year, you never have to worry about your gas and diesel tanks going empty. Our reliable fuel delivery service will keep your operation running smoothly. Call us about your bulk, motor oil, and DEF fluid needs. Grease Oil, fueling your life one delivery at a time.
Coming to you live here from the Gatorade broadcast booth, distributed by Pepsi Beverages. Gatorade helping athletes fuel, recover, and perform. Job Blankman, Mark Schaefer with you here tonight. Carroll Merchants of baseball, of course. They're leading the A's of Clarinda 9-4 as we head to the top of the 9th inning. First pitch up top to Gavin Long. 1 ball, no strikes. Long will be followed by Cole or Warheim and then Anthony Palomilia. 1-0 pitch chopped over towards first. Duttler kind of gives a look at that one, and then Coach Eberle over there able to scoop that one up. 1 ball and 1 strike. That is, of course, the first base coach for the Clarinda A's. They have 2 Eberle, so I don't know which Eberle that was, but it was Coach Eberle because both of their coaches are Eberles. 1-1 pitch on the way. There is a chopper out towards second, ranging over nicely, and making the play is going to be Chris Hagee. And there is a 1 out here in the inning. Merchants are 2 outs away from taking a half-game lead for 3rd place in the conference and putting themselves in that playoff spot. That's coming up is going to be Warheim. He's looking for his first hit here tonight. Flew out to center in the first, struck out looking in the third. Hopped up in foul territory to Ethan Cole in the 5th. That's up the first base side. Duttler has replaced Cole and now struck out swinging in the 8th. He'll take the first pitch for ball 1. Again, Merchants down at Joplin Monday and Tuesday, and then at Nevada Wednesday, Thursday, then off Friday, Saturday, off tomorrow. Back in action here at Merchants Park on Sunday. 1-0 pitch misses, and the count runs to 2-0. They'll close out with league leader, make league leader St. Joe here on Sunday next week. And I think Mason will be back for that one, so you guys won't get stuck listening to me again. There's a chopper backhanded in the hole. Great throw that time by Yasko. 2 outs in the inning. Great job by Bryce Yasko showing that arm, and we are down to the final out for the A's. And it's going to be Palomilia, the shortstop, stepping in. He flew out to the right fielder in the first inning. Grounded into a 5-6-3 out, not a double play, just an out in the 3rd. Grounded out to the second baseman in the 5th, and then walked and scored in the 8th inning. And again, we'll have Coach Berg, and if anybody else comes up to talk to us here in the postgame, that one in there for a strike, and the count is 0-1. And Noel has really settled in here in this 9th inning.
Looked a little shaky last inning, but seems to really settle down.
The 0-1 offering up top. 1 ball and 1 strike. I always say that Kuhn has great pitching because John Waddle was a great college catcher, and he just knows how to handle pitching. I think you're seeing the same thing a little bit here tonight. Berg has done a nice job when his pitchers have gotten in trouble going out and just settling them down. There's a chopper foul. And the A's are down to their final strike here with a 1 ball and a 2 strike count. And man, we've got some fans that really get into this.
Yeah. Cowbells have definitely gotten a little bit louder.
1-2 pitch, pop foul. And the count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think it was that old Saturday Night Live sketch of more cowbell.
More cowbell.
I don't think we need that right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who was the actor that was playing the cowbell. Oh, God, he's pretty popular. I've never liked his movies.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, yep.
Yeah, Carroll.
The 1-2 pitch, that one up top. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'm not saying Will's not a good actor. I'm just not a big fan of most of the movies he's in. But that was one of the greatest sketches.
Yeah.
It rivaled the days of back with Eddie Murphy, and Bill Murray and all those guys. 2-2 pitch misses. The glory days with Chevy Chase and all that back on Saturday Night Live. 3 balls and 2 strikes right now on Paul Amelia. Barajas is waiting on deck. He's hoping to get an opportunity. 3-2 pitch, chopped up the first base side. Dowler smothers it, steps on the bag, and the Carroll Merchants, with a dominant performance here tonight, knock off the Clarinda A's. 9-4, the final score. The Merchants again are a half game up on Chillicothe now for 3rd place in the conference. We'll stop away, take a break. We've got our post-game show coming up right here on the CB Sports Network YouTube channel.
Bruner, Reinhardt, and Morton is a general practice law with over 100 years of experience providing legal services in Carroll, Glidden, Coon Rapids, and Guthrie Center communities. And they're a proud supporter of this Merchants broadcast. Go Merchants!
Culver's famous custard is made fresh throughout the day, every day. With over 30 toppings to choose from, there is something for everyone. Grab a shake, malt, concrete mixer, or sundae. Find your favorite. Check out the flavor of the day online at culvers.com.
Culvers, welcome to Delicious.
Step up to more power and all-around capability with New Holland compact and subcompact tractors from Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City. The Workmaster Utility Series is a tough, practical workhorse providing unmatched comfort and simplicity. The Workmaster Utility Tractor, ready to complete any task with the productivity of the 12x12 powered shovel transmission and 4-wheel drive. Stop into Haley Equipment in Carroll and Rockwell City to see how the New Holland Workmaster tractors are the best utility tractors to help you complete those tasks efficiently.
Starting a new job or even a new career can be scary, but starting a career at Collins Aerospace is exciting and rewarding. From the clean and safe manufacturing environment to the satisfaction of knowing that your work helps keep people safe in the skies, Collins Aerospace is the opportunity you've been waiting for, offering competitive salary, amazing benefits, and sign-on bonuses. This is an exceptional opportunity to join a highly dedicated team. For more information or to apply online, visit jobs.collinsaerospace.com. Collins Aerospace, aerospace redefined.
Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with signature butter burgers made with fresh, never frozen Midwest raised beef. Pair it with Wisconsin cheese curds and made daily, fresh frozen custard. Now that's a winning combination.
Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Grease Oil believes in always going the extra mile for our customers. During the busiest times of the year, you never have to worry about your gas and diesel tanks going empty. Our reliable fuel delivery service will keep your operation running smoothly. Call us about your bulk, motor oil, and DEF fluid needs. Grease Oil, fueling your life one delivery at a time.
Coming in live here from the Gatorade broadcast booth, distributed by Pepsi Beverages. Gatorade helping athletes fuel, recover, and perform. A post-game show here on the CB Sports Network. Got Ryan Ladner joining us here as the Merchants pick up a pretty convincing 9-4 victory here today against the Clarinda A's. Again, as I mentioned going into the post-game, they take a half-game lead on Chillicothe for third place right now in the conference. Ryan, congrats. I tell you what, man, you look sharp out on the hill today. I know I was talking with Coach Berg before the game, and he's like, like everybody is in this league right now, pitching's kind of becoming, a thing of importance here late in the season with everybody's arms kind of wearing down a little bit. But you got that start tonight and looked pretty good out there on the hill. How'd you feel?
Oh, I felt great going out there. The first inning was good. I started feeling a little weird around the third or fourth. Luckily, the defense was there behind me to make some plays. Started to figure it out in the sixth. And then after that, our closer's a really good guy from Texas, obviously. You saw that. So it was nice to have him come behind me. Having confidence in your closer is a great thing.
You mentioned getting off to that good start, a 1-2-3 inning in that top of the first inning. What were you looking to do? What was kind of the game plan for you going in?
Well, every time I walk out there, I just think of my grandpa and he says, first pitch strike.
Yep.
Of course, I failed on that, so I had to come back and make sure to get 1, 2, 3 outs, or otherwise he would never let me hear the end of it.
Got in a little trouble there in the second inning. If I remember correctly, you walked, you gave a couple of hits, but I thought it was that late walk, but you got out of it. What did you go to get out of trouble there with the bases loaded in that second inning?
I think most of it is mainly a mindset. When you get to that point, you're like, all right, I can either bear down and have some grit to you, or you can fold.
Yep.
And I think that's what I excel in, is showing that I have some grit to me.
And as you mentioned, you kind of got into a rhythm, a 1-2-3 third, a 1-2-3 fourth inning. You said you all of a sudden started to feel a little awkward. What started to kind of go for you a little bit there?
Everything just felt disconnected, and I couldn't figure it out. Late sixth, early seventh, I noticed I was letting my glove fly, so my front end was flying open.
Okay.
Once I started tucking my front end, it really felt smooth again, and I knew I was good to go after that.
Well, you got a catcher as a manager here in Ben Berg. Does he help you? Does he see those things, or is that tough to see from the dugout?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see from the dugout, and so most of this out here is just us trial and error. Obviously, their coaches, they have their inputs, they help us out,
right?
But to the best of their abilities.
Got 3 runs in the bottom of the first. For a pitcher, that's golden, because it takes a little pressure off of you. So what did you see from the offense tonight, and how nice was that to get out to that early lead?
I mean, every pitcher loves when you put up runs, so it's almost like a breath of fresh air. You're like, hey, if I give up one, it's not the end of the world. So you can settle in. You can throw some breaking balls that you're kind of iffy about because you're confident in your offense, which is obviously with 10 hits, 9 runs, you feel like you can't do anything wrong on the mound.
What's this win mean for this team? You guys kind of struggled there for a while, got off to that 6-0 start, then kind of fluttered a little bit. But now 5 wins in your last 7 games. You're kind of rounding back into shape here. And now, as I mentioned, you're a half game up on Chillicothe to get into the playoffs.
Yep. We there for a while, we thought we were out of playoff contention. And then, we started picking back up. We just quit swinging almost completely. We went from 14 hits a game to, 2 or 3. But here lately, we've just been swinging, and that's a great, really confidence booster to go to the playoffs.
On the road, not that you guys haven't had road trips before. You head down to Joplin for a game Monday, Tuesday. You're off tomorrow. Then you're at Nevada Wednesday and Thursday. You get a couple of days off to come home and to close out the regular season against St. Joe. How much do you got to go down there and maybe steal a game on the road against Joplin?
I really don't know. Joplin's kind of we haven't played there yet,
right?
So it's kind of going to be like we got to figure out the stadium, figure out the field, but in the end, it's all baseball.
Yep.
So hopefully, we just go down there, we play, we get our wins, and we come home.
Well, I tell you what, great job out here tonight. Appreciate you coming up and talking to us. Best of luck on the road trip.
Thank you, man.
You bet. Ryan Ladner again joining us here in the postgame. We'll get head coach Ben Berg to slide in here real quick, and we'll get a conversation with coach and get his thoughts on this Merchants win here tonight. And Coach, you got to be pretty pleased with this one here tonight. You and I were chatting before the game, and you talked about some pitching concerns. Like I mentioned it during the broadcast. Everybody at this time of the year, it's kind of like late season high school games or late season college games. The pitching starts to get wore down, gets a little thin. But Ryan Ladner went out tonight and gave you exactly what you needed.
Exactly. Yep, you hit the nail on the head there. We talked about it before the game. We're going to need long outings from starting pitchers, and we've gotten that so far this year. And again, Ryan did a phenomenal job tonight. Only having to use one bullpen arm is absolutely massive. Getting a day off tomorrow is also huge. Yep. So all those things work together to set us up really well for the week ahead. And
the Wallace guy, from what I had noticed, had made a start coming in. For Clarinda, he'd thrown, I think, 19 innings or something like that coming in, but had just the one save. He was 16 2/3. You guys jumped on him right away. I mentioned something to you about Michael Alt and the tear he's been on lately. The guy I forgot to bring up was kind of the newcomer, and that's Koski, who was hitting in that number 2 hole. Hits a moonshot for you right away, and that's really got to have energized this entire dugout.
Huge, man. Absolutely huge. Sets the tone right away. We haven't had a ton of thump this year. We haven't hit a ton of extra base hits or home runs, but Josh has been a spark plug right away.
Yes.
End of his first week, he's got
home run, I think, on the first game, right?
First game against these guys to walk it off and score 10 runs. So he's been great. 5, 6 extra base hits in his first 6 or so games. He's been huge for us. Phenomenal kid. And exactly what we've needed in the offense so far.
And then you had the answer in the 5th. They come out and get 2 in that top of the 5th. All of a sudden you got a 4-2 ball game, and you're starting to sit here and wonder. And you guys come out in that bottom of the 5th inning and put 4 runs on the board. You got exactly what you needed there, and that was an answer. You maybe didn't need 4, but I thought it kind of separated you guys.
Huge response. Yep. Exactly right. Right. We set the tone in the first, scoring 3. They nibble back a little bit with the 2, and then putting 4 up there is massive. Stretch that lead a little bit. Know that stopping their momentum, not giving them any extra wiggle room to kind of get their way back into it. So that was massive for sure.
What did you see offensively from your group tonight? Because I thought they showed patience when needed, and then aggressiveness when they needed at the plate as well.
For sure, yeah. I think they took what was given to them really, really well tonight. So when we got fastballs in the zone, we did a good job of finding a way to put a barrel on it. And when they were out of the zone, we found a way not to chase. So that's a recipe for success. Swinging fastballs in the zone, take breaking balls out of the zone. If it were that easy, we'd do it a lot more, trust me. But they did a phenomenal job of that tonight. And that's a lot of what I've talked about for our foundation of our offense this year is, first we got to swing at good pitches. We got to not chase balls out of the zone, and we got to swing at balls we can hit. We obviously got to make contact there and find some barrels from there. And we did exactly that tonight. We had a couple more extra base hits than I'm used to seeing, which was phenomenal, and they executed the plan really well.
The other thing that I think was cool for me is that, 8 different positions, I think, scored for you here tonight. So out of the 9 guys in the starting lineup, I know Kyle comes in and gets the double and scores in that number 1 spot, but you're getting production all the way through the lineup. That's got to make you happy.
Yeah, really big deal. Really big deal. 1 through 9, we got to be able to put competitive at-bats together. Mm-hmm. And that not everybody has to be a guy that hits a double, triple home run every game, right? But everybody's got to find a way to contribute value, whether that's a 7, 8, 9 pitch at bat that runs that guy's pitch count up and we get to the bullpen a little earlier, or drawing a nice walk, or we had a couple sac flies tonight were really nice. So finding a way to be productive, even if you're not a guy that's going to put the ball over the fence all the time, has been great from stretching our lineup perspective.
Mentioned Michael Alt. He had another really good game for you tonight, but is it nice to being able to replace a guy like Alt with Kyle, because Kyle steps up there and hits a double and then scores, and he's got that speed kind of similar to Alt.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. So Michael's been great this year. He's been really, really good. He hasn't gotten much time off, and I figured, 2 innings isn't much, but it's better than nothing. So I think he's gotten 2 games off this whole summer. So just want to give him a little bit of a breather, give Kyle a chance to play in front of the home crowd again, which was great. And really happy for him that he came through with his first extra base hit of the summer. And, he's so dynamic on the base paths.
Yes.
And everybody can see that. So really, really great for him to get going a little bit like that tonight.
So you're off tomorrow, and then you head down to Joplin for games Monday and Tuesday, then to Nevada Wednesday and Thursday. The good thing, I think, you get Friday, Saturday off before you come back against St. Joe. Do you guys have games that aren't on the schedule?
Saturday is St. Joe.
Saturday is St. Joe, so It's not a Sunday game, it's a Saturday game.
Sunday we play back here.
Okay.
Against Clarinda, maybe?
Is it Clarinda? Okay, so Saturday's on the road down at St. Joe.
Yep.
Okay, and then Sunday's home to Clarinda. Okay,
Correct.
all right. So, but you at least get a day off before kind of closing out with those two. I kind of peeked and looked, and I'm no expert by any means, especially in this league, but I had you guys with a chance to go right around 500 or better, because for me, at Nevada, at Joplin, 2 games, you split there, and stuff. Chillicothe's got a really tough schedule. Now you're a half game up for them, good to get into the postseason. If you can get a couple of these games on the road, that gives you a really good chance to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's going to be big. I think the South Division has shown the tendency to be a little bit weaker at times this year compared to the North Division. So, we've been tested playing St. Joe, playing Clarinda all the time. And that's not saying anything bad about those South Division teams, because Nevada beat us twice and Joplin beat us once, and so we have a lot of respect for them, and nothing's going to come easy there for sure. But I think we have a good chance to win a couple of games, give ourselves a chance. We kind of are in the driver's seat, but we're kind of right in the same spot, right? So anything can happen there. We're going to continue to play like this, night in and night out, and if we do that, we'll give ourselves a really good chance.
So I asked Chris Whitaker earlier today, I'm like, I know what the tiebreaker will be. It'll be head-to-head if you guys in Chillicothe tie. He wasn't for sure. What's the head-to-head with you guys? Do you know what the head-to-head right now is with Chillicothe? Because I hadn't had a chance to look that up.
Yeah, we're 5-2 against
5-2, so you'd have the tiebreaker. Yep, absolutely. So in good shape to make the playoffs, but nice to have the day off tomorrow and get a little rest before you head out for 5 straight days.
Huge, yep.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, Ben, appreciate you coming up. Congrats on the win. Always good to see you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it.
You bet. Ben Berg joining us, so we'll get some quick thoughts from Mike Schaefer, and then we'll wrap up our coverage as the Carroll Merchants pick up a 9-4 victory tonight. We'll just get Mark to slide back on the headsets here real quick and just get some final thoughts here from him. And Mark, your final thoughts here on the game today.
Well, like Ben just said, a really good win for them, especially going into that road trip. So congrats to the Merchants on just kind of getting momentum going into the long road trip this next week as they look to really close out the season strong, and just a great effort on both sides of the plate. Obviously, it started with great pitching from Ladner, and then they just continued it at the plate. So I think this was a really much-needed boost in the arm.
Tell you what, Merchants winning here tonight, 9-4. I'll get my recap story typed up when I get back home. I think Coach will send me some stats, because I'm guaranteeing you mine won't be perfectly accurate. So I'll have Coach send me his stats, but I'll get that up for you at sports.1380kcim.com. For my broadcast partner, Mark Schaefer, this is Chop Blankman saying thank you for listening to Carroll Merchants baseball coverage here tonight on the CB Sports Network.